looking at us.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, you couldn't hear us. You couldn't hear us. Everyone's like, I can't hear you. Sorry, we were seeing if we could play a video, and we can because Polly knows how to do that. So that's good. Sound's back now. I'd pressed mute on both cameras, so that's why there was no sound. So it wouldn't be a Charmers Gems live without some sort of technical idiocy, would it? So I hope you're all ready for an interesting evening. Right, we've got lots of people on Facebook, some people on YouTube. That's better, everyone says. I've got a video that I actually created for a gemological talk that I gave last year. So it's very raw. We don't actually generally put this much information out on social media. So I haven't vetted it because it was for gemologists. It didn't really matter. But anyway, we'll play it. Don't get offended if there's anything offensive in it. I don't think there's anything offensive in it. Yeah, we'll play that later then. So that's quite exciting. But hello, everybody. Hi, Nigel and Coral. And they say hi to Polly as well. Hi, Christine. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Jill. I'm all right. Thanks, Jill. Hi, Tracy. Hi, April. Hi, Candy. And hi to Donna, who is in my ear. Let me just turn this off there. As well, so Donna's helping out as well. I can't currently hear her, so I hope she's in my ear. Yes, she's in my ear. But we're going to start with a little bit of an education session on the pearls due to the volume of questions that I got asked about pearls that I couldn't answer them all. I thought it takes so long to create the videos. If I have to make 40 videos, I'm not going to do anything else. You're not going to get live next week. So I thought I'll just answer all the questions while I'm live, and that will do it. I am plugged in. Thank you, Beverly. Excellent admin there. Excellent. Yeah, I'm plugged in, and the new phone is here. So the new phone has got a perfectly functioning battery. And I was just saying to Polly that I bought this new phone, which are actually the most expensive things you'll ever own. It's now, I think, probably the most valuable thing I own. It's just insanely expensive. Anyway, it's Apple, so you can't moan, apparently. So I bought a new phone. I thought, because I want 3 phones because I'm up to something. So I thought I need another phone. So I bought the phone. I've been waiting quietly for the phone. And then on Saturday, Carl dropped his phone into the fishing lake. And he couldn't find it, so it took him we should play that video. It took him 30 minutes to find it, and by the time he found it, it wasn't feeling very well. So it did come back to life, but it didn't come back to life properly. Part of it had broken. It's a bit of a shame, really, actually, because it really nearly came back to life, and then the last moment it wouldn't connect. I think this part that reads the SIM doesn't work. So he just said, well, you've got a new phone coming on Monday, so I'll just have your old phone. So now I lost my old phone, which I felt quite connected to. See, young people don't mind swapping phones. To me, it's like a nightmare moment.
Why?
It doesn't work, Polly. It only works for young people. It doesn't. It knows that I'm over 30 and I can't work it. So
you put your own phone details in and it looks like your old phone.
Yeah, well, it didn't quite do that, and then I lost all the apps and I don't remember the passwords. That's just like so. And then when Carl said, can you do mine? You can imagine that didn't go down very well. Anyway, Johnny did Carl, so that was all right. It's Carl's happy birthday today as well. So happy birthday to Carl. I'm sorry that your wife isn't with you and your friends have taken you out without me. I feel really bad. That is really bad.
I was wondering where
Not the best wifing.
Nah,
really,
you're fine.
Yeah. We've been married long enough that he can suffer. He can suffer an evening, can't he? But happy birthday in case he does tune in. I don't think he's going to because he's actually gone out for dinner. So hi Beth, hi Catherine, hi Laurie. Jill washed her earbuds and they died. I put the remote control. Don't get me going. I put the remote control in the washing machine the other day. It did not come out okay. It did not. No, we're a remote control down. And if we listed off this week, I'm just going to warn you now, has been a really bad hormone week where I can't function. This morning I drove to work and I went somewhere else. And I was like, where are you? And I'm like driving in there. So, where are you going? And talking to myself, honestly. It's just been one of those weeks where
I thought I was bad.
I was going to come to you, Polly, but you've got a good 30 years left, I'm sure, before it hits you. But yeah, just really, really bad. So if I do anything stupid, just please forgive me. Luckily, I think our audience might be quite forgiving, so that's okay. Yeah, but so stupid things. I thought this morning I was feeling better. I thought I was feeling better this morning until I drove to the wrong place. And then I was like, okay, that's not quite gone yet. Oh no, well, the list of the symptoms is horrific. You don't want that because you'll just end it now. I mean, don't do that to yourself. The list of stupid things that I've done this week.
Yeah, the fun things.
Okay, so the worst one, hi Karen, Karen knows about this, is that I've lost. So I went and I bought some diamonds for a job that I'm doing. And I went and bought diamonds and I came home, and diamonds are easy to lose, as you can imagine. They live in little packets and they're easy to lose. So as soon as I got home, good practice is to immediately put them in the safe, and you know where they are. I put them in the safe, and then the next day, Johnny's trying to do his he passed his driving test. He's trying to do his insurance, and he needs my passport, which is a driving license, sorry, which is obviously in the safe. Do you think I can find the key? I have lost the key to the safe. And I mean, totally lost the key to the safe. Just overnight, it's disappeared. And I was telling Lisa earlier, and she was quite sympathetic. And then I said, have you seen the safe key? She said, no. It is about that long, and it's massive. It's not like a tiny. It's not a tiny little key that I've mislaid. So I've lost the key to the safe. What else have I've done loads of things. I can't remember what stupid things I've done really. Just a constant stream of stupidity. That's what's coming out of me now. But hopefully all will be better when the hormones readjust. To just slap on a bit more gel. That's it. Self-medicate. It's all good. Hi, Gillian. How are you doing? Gillian can't get Facebook to work, so she's on YouTube. So anyone else struggling, try YouTube. Hi, Ken. I can see you today. Thank you for Carl's birthday wishes, everybody. I couldn't remember the word for banana the other day, which amused all the youngsters when I was trying to say the yellow bent thing. Hi Casey, how are you doing? It's just awful. Anyway, we're moving away. So if I make any mistakes today, then just please forgive me. Exactly, Emma. I tell you, if the house caught on fire, they ask you, don't you? People ask you, if your house caught on fire, what would you go back for? So I'd go back for the estrogen gel, because otherwise I'm not going to survive that experience. And my fossil. And that's obviously living things I would go for, but in the world, the picture in the hall with the flowers that
wouldn't the fossil survive the fire? It's a rock.
I wouldn't want to damage it. No, it would have to come out. It would have to. It's heavier than a person, but it's okay.
Yeah,
we'll manage.
Send Johnny
that's it. I'll send someone else in. It's all good. That's it. Oh, thanks, Kate. Everyone can relate. Look, because you're all in it somewhere. Right, we are talking not about menopause symptoms today, middle-aged ladies. You'll be glad to know we are talking about what is that? Oh, it's looking what is this? It's like an eye behind me. Not being able to concentrate and finish a sentence is another symptom. So we're going to talk about pearls. You're all here for pearls this evening. Yay. And pearls is a really, really exciting topic, and one that I think I sort of accidentally became a specialist of. Certainly not intentionally. So when you study gemology, you learn a little bit about all the gemstones, and well, that's not true actually. You learn a lot about all of the gemstones. It's something else in my line now. This one, that's okay. So you learn a lot about all the gemstones, and then I actually chose to specialize in diamonds. So I then became a diamond specialist. And then over the years, I started to go out to the pearl farms, and I wasn't ever particularly bothered about pearls. I think that sometimes you can look at them, and we've had quite a lot of questions of how do you know if it's an imitation pearl or a real pearl? And as a baby gemologist, I used to think, well, the fake ones look so good. What does it really matter? But then once you see what goes into these pearls, it's totally addictive. It could definitely become an obsession. Definitely. Don't think about it, Candy. It could definitely, Candy is not obsessed at all. It could definitely become an obsession because they're so difficult to sort, and so much love and care and attention goes into them that they're really, really, really fascinating. So I'm very privileged because I've been out to the pearl farms multiple times and really seen a lot of changes in the pearl farms over the years as well. And that's quite unique. I know one other person in the UK who has been to the pearl farms, but only once, as far as I know. So it is really quite unique to be able to go out and actually experience these things firsthand. So so I've sort of learned as I've gone as well. So lots of the things they teach you in a textbook or you read it on the internet and all of those things that are sort of regurgitated aren't all necessarily true when you get there. And I think there's always an element of that in real life, how it actually works versus how the scientists think it works. So yeah, so you can ask any questions that you want. I put out an Instagram post on I think it was on Tuesday, because I've got all this pearl footage from start to finish of how pearls are farmed, and I'm really lucky because I've seen the whole process, and that's because I've done multiple visits. So you might get someone who's been out to the pearl farms once, but they do different things at different times of year. So you actually have to make multiple journeys to be able to see the whole thing from start to finish. So I've got all of this footage, and on Tuesday, with my fuzzy brain, I thought, I don't know what to tell you. I can't remember what I've told you before. So I don't know. What do you want to know? So I just put a post out saying, what would you actually like to know about the pearls? And I thought that would be a better way than me guessing or regurgitating the same thing, because I suppose the thing that I find interesting, I'm going to tell you over and over again. So Emma says pearls are my favorite. Oh, it's a good choice, Emma. It is. Catherine says, I wish my hormones would adjust. 9 years now, and I'm still totally stupid. It might never come back, Catherine. Just go with it. That's what I say. I'm only obsessed with your pearls, Candy says. Oh, thank you, Candy. That's nice. Emma says, she's tying the topics together here. My menopause ruined my Tahitian pearl because I slept on it with hot flushes. We can barrel that for you. If you give it to me, we'll fix it. Don't worry. So I really hate the pearl test. I know they're real, and when I wrung them along my teeth, my skin crawls. That's just one of the things, like, Beth, why? I mean, at no point in your life do you need to put a gemstone in your mouth.
That's what I thought, but that's what I was taught.
No, I know, and just don't do that. That is one of the questions that came up. You don't need to do that, Beth. There's other ways of identifying a pearl without actually giving yourself a disease. So don't do that, making yourself sick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this works phone to not cut Donna off and to look up the questions that I was asked. But if you have a question, then do go ahead and pop it into the comments, and I will try and answer as many questions as I can. Now, would it be better to play the video first? Possibly, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start with the questions because I've committed to that now. So I don't know if this is going to upset you, Donna, so I'm sorry if you can. The first question was, can we buy a shell? No, the answer is no, you can't buy a shell because the shells are not allowed to be imported. Moving swiftly on before I show you my shells. So then it was about the natural colours. Today I've put out a video about the colours of the pearls, and I'm going to touch on that in a moment. So please, could you make a YouTube video so that the content is longer? That would be lovely. I should do that, definitely. What about the colors? I had lots of questions about the colors and how the pearls get their color. So we'll do that one probably first. Could you talk about, could I share some details of other pearl dealers? No. How many pearls can an oyster produce? And does it always kill the oyster after harvesting? And what do they do with the oysters afterwards? Right. This is a very, what's the word? There's no word in my brain. This is a very sensitive, that's the word, thank you. So this is a very sensitive subject because, yes, unfortunately, the mollusks don't survive. There's no other way to put it. They don't survive the process. There are some instances where they will replant a mollusk, but unfortunately, the majority of mollusks, they don't survive. They're part of the process, but they are totally used for for their other parts. So all of them are used. Nothing is wasted. So it's a bit like if you're a meat eater. You know, I always look to make sure that the farms that I'm buying for are as ethical and I can live with it morally, and you think at least nothing is going to waste and there's no waste. So the mollusk itself will go for animal feed. The shell is also recycled, and that is used either to make shell jewelry or in decorative ways, or it's actually ground up to make the beads that they plant the mollusk with. So nothing is wasted. So that is good. But so you do see videos put out by people who very carefully show you how they remove a pearl and then the mollusk survives. Now, in some of the pearl harvesting, especially things like the South Seas, the Tahitians, the Acoyas, they, I'm sure, because they're only growing one pearl, they will actually replant the mollusk. But when they're growing 40, 50 pearls at a time, I've not seen them replant that mollusk. I have seen them replant Edison pearls, again, where they're growing one at a time and putting another Edison in. But I think when it is mass production of lots of pearls at once, that unfortunately then the mollusk doesn't survive the process. There's no nice way of putting that, so I'm apologetic, but that is the reality of it. How do they come out in different colors? Lots of that question. Can pearls be cultivated anywhere in the world? Why are they mostly in the southeast? I think this is to do with the temperature, actually. So they grow in big lakes, and I think that the temperatures there are much more suitable. I think you could possibly create a pearl farm. I did think about it, I must say. I thought, if I import one of the mollusks and dig a pond, could I make my own pearl? I don't know how hard it is, but I don't think it would be particularly financially viable, because I think you'd have to keep the water warm. So a bit like tropical fish versus goldfish, I suppose, where you need to keep it warm. So I don't think it would be cost effective to do it outside of the warmer oceans or lakes or countries, should I say. So I don't think so. But you do find pearl farming in little areas all over the world, but the majority of the mass production of pearl farming is done in China. And previous to that, it was actually done in India. But India, when China took over, India stopped pearl farming. And my understanding is that they've started again now on a small scale to make Indian pearls, which is lovely. We like it when everyone has a go. What are the environmental implications of pearl farming? Are certain kinds of pearls more environmentally friendly? So the environmental implications of pearl farming is the same as farming, I would say. So you're looking at massive lakes, bodies of water. The farmers treat these as a harvest. This is their crop. They are very kind to the mollusks. They also fish farm, and there's normally on the pearl farms I visited, there's normally a duck farm and a chicken farm actually as well, all together. So they're utilizing the water for as many different types of farming as they can, but they're very kind to the creatures, because obviously their money is in these creatures, so they're not doing anything unkind. When they plant the mollusk with the little beads, which I'll show you in a second, they disinfect the mollusk. They give, making sure constantly they're clean. They don't want them to get sick. And the biggest environmental issues are the environment itself. So if the weather becomes really volatile, that can ruin the harvest of the pearls, and different environmental problems can obviously affect the water and then affect the pearls. So I don't see that it's not an environmentally friendly process. I've never noticed that there's not a lot of actual process. Once they're harvested, they're bleached, and then they're drilled, and then they're strung. So there's not a lot of machinery used. There's not. So I would say they are relatively environmentally friendly. That is my personal opinion, and I don't think I know enough about that topic to give you a definite answer. But that is generally that is my answer. Please could you tell stories endlessly, and I promise everyone will want to listen. What a nice thing to say. It's nice when people say nice things. I want to know all of it from start to finish. Okay. What happened to the oyster? I've just covered that one. Will freshwater pearls crack? I thought that's an interesting question, isn't it? So not really. No, they're quite tough pearls, actually. So I'm going to explain what they are in a second, which probably would have been a good place to start. But they are quite tough. If you mistreat them, then they will crack, just as you mistreat anything, it will crack. A gemstone would crack, or if you knock a diamond in the wrong way, it will crack. But if you're just wearing them from day to day, I haven't come across a problem of pearls cracking. No, So when you say they treat them, what does this entail? Sarah says. So they treat the pearls by bleaching them, and that removes any stains from them. So I'm going to show you that as well in a second. So we'll have a look at that, and that removes any stains on the surface of the pearl. They then put them in a barrel, and they sort of polish them back up, and then they're ready to go. They can also dye the pearls. So the peacock pearls that you see, the beautiful blues and purples and all the dark colors, those ones are dyed as well. And sometimes we might have some pink ones. I don't think we have today, but sometimes you get all the different fancy dyed colored ones. So those treatments are carried out as well. Now, the companies that tell you that their pearls aren't bleached, I shouldn't believe that. So for a start, I'd like them to prove it. But I've seen how it works, and they are mass bleached. So I just think it would be so unlikely that they're not bleached, because it's a process. They're harvested, they're bleached, they're dried, they're tumbled. It's not, oh, that's a nice one, let's keep that one out, because they just all go through the process to remove any little marks or anything that happens to them. So I think that that's just a sales pitch. So be careful what you listen to. How long? Oh, this lady wanted to know all about the history of pearls, and I'm afraid that is not my subject. I don't know anything about the history of pearls. I'm sure there's lots of amazing books and articles that you can read about pearls if you'd like to know the history, but that is not my strength. How keshi pearls are formed. So a keshi pearl is a pearl without a nucleus, really. So they tend to be more of the stick like shapes, or the the cornflake like shapes, and they're not formed in a round shape. So the pearl itself is round or potato shaped. I mean, who named it that? Potatoes or pears, because it moves in the shell. So I would imagine they're stuck somewhere, and that's why they form. But again, I'm not 100% sure on that answer. How do you care for your pearls? Now, that's quite important. So I would recommend that you can wash your pearls in water. Pearls grow in water, so they don't dislike water. I won't get any harsh chemicals on them, because their surface is really where their beauty is. So you don't want to spray them with perfumes and hairsprays and cleaning products and all the other things. So if you're wearing rings, don't do the gardening in them and give them a whack or anything like that. So just be very conscious that they are very precious, and you should treat them nicely. But there's no horrible, there's no horrible properties about them where you have to be truly concerned that if you wear it in this environment, something awful is going to happen to it. You just need to treat them with respect. I would wipe them over with just a damp cloth once you finish wearing a pearl jewelry. Just wipe them over and then put them back in your jewelry box. So there's nothing too horrible, right? So that's the Instagram. That was half the comments. Just a second, and then I'll talk you through the process and see if my video will play. No, we can't do that because that's not working. So I can't see the Facebook comments because that's not working on that phone. So let me see if this video will play, and then I'll show you how pearls are formed, and you can ask any questions that you like about the pearls. So we've not done this before. And as I said, this video, if you just joined us, everybody, welcome. If you just joined us for a start, hi. This video is a video that I created when I was giving a talk to the Gemological Association members. So I was asked to do a talk about my career, and what I do is quite unusual. So so about my career and what I get up to. And I just put this quick video together to show them. So in here, there is going to be things like removing the pearls without the beautiful images that we normally put on the internet. So if you're a little bit squeamish, or you care that it's going to upset you, then just don't watch the video. But I don't know what the sound's like. We haven't tried doing this before, so please bear with me. I'm going to add it to the stage here, and I'm going to talk over it. So I don't think it's got any sound. Do you think it's got any sound, Donna? Can you hear? Let me just play it a little bit and let me know if it's got any sound. If you store a pearl in silver jewelry, does the anti-tarnish pads affect the pearls? I've never heard of a great problem with that, so I'm going to go for no, Candy. Hi, Nikki, how are you doing? You can get freshwater pearls in Ireland, Ken says. That's fun. Right, I don't think so. I don't think it's making a sound. So I'm going to kind of talk over it, and I'll pause it as I go. So this is an example of the pearl farm. So just before I came live this evening, a customer had said that he'd seen, he thought pearls were grown in, I can't remember exactly how I worded it, indoors, really was in tanks.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. In tanks, they were strung up, and I was like, no, this is the pearl farms. So in China, there is district of China where there are thousands of man-made lakes like this one, which hold the pearls inside. And what you can see here in this video is the bottles that hold up the nets. So you can see all these nets and all of these with Coke bottles, pretty much. I'm trying to see if I can pause it for you, but I just moved too quickly. And that's the net. So it's very neat and tidy. If you like things in rows, it looks, it looks so lovely and neat. So this is it. This is the seeding. So we're going to start with that. So to create a freshwater cultured pearl, these are freshwater. Sorry, I should have said that. So these are freshwater cultured pearls in China. They actually plant the mollusk. So let me just tell you what a mollusk is. This is a mollusk. It is a creature, either a mussel or an oyster, but as you can see, it's not the typical mussel or oyster that we eat here in the UK. This is a special type of mollusk that is well known for creating beautiful, beautiful pearls. So this is what they're going to plant. Now, inside here, just as if you were to open an oyster or a mussel, is a fleshy body, and that is the mollusk itself, and it lives in there, and it's a bivalve. So I'm sure you've all seen them, that they live underwater and they can move they move up and down like this, and they eat the stuff within the water. So it is a creature that's inside. Now, how a natural pearl is formed is that a tiny parasite bores a hole through the shell and gets into the body of inside the shell of the mollusk. So let me just take this away a minute. I'm coming back to that. So it gets inside the shell of the mollusk, and it begins to irritate the mollusk. So what the mollusk does is it coats it in the nacre, and the nacre is this beautiful iridescent shell that is inside our mollusk shell. So it coats it. So what it's doing is it's coating it and coating it as if it's got an itch and it's trying to stop it from itching, and it coats it and coats it, and that is what creates the pearl. So in nature, that's how it works. Is a little parasite bores its way in. Now, quite a misunderstanding, something I get asked a lot, is that it's sand inside, but it's not sand inside, because the mollusk itself filters the sand to get to eat the food. So it's not sand that annoys it. It is a parasite that bores a little hole through and creates an irritation. So what they're trying to do in this situation, in this particular farm, is that they're going to plant seeds into the body of the mollusk, little beads, which it will then coat just as if something had got inside. So it finds them an irritation and it coats them in the nacre, and that is what creates the pearl. So to do that, they very, very gently, so you've got a living mollusk like this, they very, very gently prise the mollusk open slightly. You'll see here, let me just go back a little bit. You'll see it as we play it. They have a little clamp, which I'm pointing at it with my cursor, but you can't see that. Where her blue gloves are, the mollusk itself lives in a little clamp. They clamp it slightly open, and then they very gently insert a tiny bead, a bead of the size they want the pearl to be, and a little part of the mantle of another mollusk, and that creates the irritation. So let me play the video now. So you can see here all these ladies are doing the same thing. Here's the mantle tissue. So on that slice on her bench, she's got some mantle tissue, and in this blue dish here are loads and loads of beads. These are tiny seed pearls that she's making. She's clamping the mollusk open and using these surgical tools to implant about 20 to 40 beads inside this mollusk, and they're very gentle. As you can see, they're very careful in what they do. I've tried to get a better angle for you here. They plant them slightly inside here, and you end up with a whole host of them all living together. And I might focus in there. It's quite tricky when you're filming over somebody's shoulder like this to actually get zoomed in at the right angle. So you can see she picks up a bead, she picks up a piece of mantle tissue, and then she pops it in. And this is them afterwards. So these are different types of mollusks that they're working on, and each one will have its very own shell color, so a different type of pearl might be grown in a different variety of mollusk. So they've planted them all. Once they're planted, they release the clamp and they put them into an antiseptic because they don't want them to get any diseases now they've messed with them. So they put them into an antiseptic and then they get planted back out in the nets onto the farm. So you can see as I'm driving along here, there's another big lake and there's a guy here on his fishing boat and he's harvesting his. Now, I was very lucky because I got to go out on the boat and pick my own mollusk out of the lake. It was very, very exciting. So exciting that I forgot to film it and then we had to do it again. So because I was so engrossed. So this is, they're emptying the boat of water. Which was very kind of them. And then in we get, and we're going to go out into the middle of the lake, and then we're going to harvest our own mollusk. So here is he's going to take one out of the net. So he pulls the net up and he's put them into the boat there for us, and then we're going to watch them. So this is where if you're a bit squeamish, maybe look away. So they're doing this for me. So this is not how it's done professionally. This is just to show me what's inside the mollusk. So it's done very quickly and probably not in the kindest way, I must say, because it's they're showing me what's happening. So they're going to crack open the mollusk, and then inside here they're going to remove the pearls from the flesh so that I can see what's inside pretty much. So that's that. Let's see if we can skip past that a second. Let's go to here. I'm still at that. So, and there's all different sizes in there, but here, this is what they'd actually planted, and I've got those here. They're in this bag here, these baby ones. So they were trying to make seed pearls. So seed pearls become very, very fashionable. So they put in tiny, these were 2 millimeters they were starting at, and they were hoping they would get to a 4 millimeter pearl if they left them for 4 to 5 years. These ones haven't been left for a long period of time because we've popped out and picked them up. So, but yes, so they found these. We also watched, and I don't know if it's in this video, so I think he's going to hack open another one just a second. This is some of the Baroque pearls that are in the main body that you can see here on this shell. So you've got your Baroque pearls that I also harvested. This is one of those from a different breed of mollusk, but from within the same lake. And then let's have a look what we're going to do in this one. These are more Baroques and nuggets and stuff. Yeah, let's keep going. And then this is quite interesting. So then these are the pearls that failed. So you never really think about the ones that never made it. But this one, you can see that black around the outside of this is actually, it's rotten. So it didn't survive. The beads in the inside, but the pearl itself didn't come out very well. And they've got, they had a bucket of these failures on the side. So I was rooting through, so you can see the bead inside. And one of the questions that I get asked is, how thick is the nacre? Well, that's dependent on how long the pearl is left planted for, actually. So it depends how many layers they've managed to get on. But on that one, you can see it's actually quite a thick nacre. So I think it does vary, but they are relatively thick, a few millimeters thick. So we're back driving along. Now, this is the pearl bleaching. So when they're all harvested, and then they're sent into the bleaching factories, and they're put into these vats, and they're baked at a particular temperature. It probably tells you the temperature as we go. They're put into these vats and bleaching. They've shown me the chemicals, but obviously it's very secretive, so I don't go showing you all the names of the chemicals that they involve. And then some of them go, the whiter pearls, I think, come into this room, which is actually a heated room where they get further bleaching, but the general ones stay out in the main room. And then they wash them off. So there's a process there. It was about 8 steps, I think, that process. And then they wash them off and they dry them out on the floor. So there's all these millions of pearls all over the floor, which is quite exciting. And sometimes they pop them, here they are in a little oven look, to dry them off if they're not drying so well. So sometimes they'll pop them into the oven and dry them with a heat lamp. Then they pop them into the barreler with walnut wood fragments, and that just pops the luster back out. So it's not enhancing it in any way, it's just giving it a quick polish up. They then go off to be sorted, and this bank of people sort them. And then they go for stringing as well. And this was the sorting machine that you might have seen on our social media. This is actually sorting the pearls into 10 different categories. It's a robot doing it, which is so impressive. It was so fast, but I can't imagine it was faster than the human yet, because it can't get the volume through. But really interesting to see how it's sorting for shape, color. That's real time of it looking at every single pearl that goes past it, and it puffs it with the air and it sticks it out the other end. And then this was just an example of some of the beautiful pearls that are coming out of the market, which are just absolutely incredible. So that is how they create freshwater cultured pearls. So that is the culturing process. So these are grown in fresh water and they're cultured. Now, if you come to sell your jewelry on, you must declare that these are cultured pearls. That is a legal requirement because they have a bead placed inside them. So they've been given a bit of a head start by humans. That's what that means. So they've given a head start and we planted the bead, because if we didn't do that, it would take decades for them to grow a decent sized pearl. So if you get an actual natural pearl that has not been cultured, it's got no nucleus, then you're looking at a hell of a lot of money. And they're the ones that go in the auction houses when you see strings of pearls going for hundreds of thousands of pounds. That's because they are natural, not cultured pearls, and they tend to be older pearls, and they're absolutely incredible. You don't really get them now, you don't really see them. So why do they include the mantle tissue? The mantle tissue must do something to the mollusk to make it react to the bead. I think it must speed up the process, because they've done that since I learned gemology. They always put the mantle tissue in with it. So I imagine it helps to speed up the process. Why are the Japanese Akoya pearls so expensive? So the Akoya pearls and the South Sea pearls and the Tahitian pearls, these pearls are not my expertise, but they are very expensive because they grow just one pearl per mollusk. So you're looking at a different process to this. This is not Akoyas, Tahitians, and South Seas. They are just one pearl per mollusk, and they probably will replant those mollusks, and they take a long time to grow. They come out those very beautiful colors. The mollusks themselves are quite a rare mollusk, so it's absolutely incredible how they get them out. So that's why the price is higher, because the demand is high and they're hard to supply. They can't supply them en masse. Thank you very much, Tracy. How can you tell if they are natural? So if you want to test for a natural or cultured pearl, so a cultured nucleated pearl is one with the bead inside, then we have to x-ray the pearls. So you need to go to somewhere like Birmingham Assay Office that has a gemological laboratory, and we put the pearls under x-ray and we look at the structure of the pearl. And on the x-ray you can see that there's a bead inside, and if it's a natural pearl, you'll see just the concentric growth circles as the pearl has grown. I say it like it's really easy. It's actually really tricky, and they have to rotate the pearls many times. So sometimes the bead's really obvious, but not all the time is it really obvious. So it's a real expertise to identify whether it's natural or cultured. And when they're sent in strings of pearls for auction, for example, they will x-ray them and they'll go through every single pearl and make sure and actually plot a diagram of definitely natural, this one's cultured, because as people have the necklace repaired over the years, the pearls get swapped out. So you'll end up with a plot of your necklace and which beads are natural and which beads are cultured. Encourages the growth, Fleur says. Absolutely, it definitely must speed up the process. So that's how they do it. Let's talk a little bit about the mollusks and then we'll get on to the pearls, but do feel free to ask any questions in the comments. So I'm going to show you, this is the mollusk that I harvested about 5 years ago, and when we get asked a lot of questions about the natural colors of pearls, here we are. This is it. Jemmy Claire's answering the question with the technical answer for you there. The mantle tissue adds the correct cells into the area you want the pearl to grow, and I believe it helps to prevent the rejection of the bead. Thank you very much, Claire. So Claire is a very much more technical gemologist than I am. I'm a hands-on, get out there, dig it up kind of a girl. Claire is a tutor, so she knows all the science and everything behind the scenes. Thank you. So this is the mollusk that I harvested 5 years ago, and you can see that it has beautiful iridescent colors, such a beautiful mollusk. And this was creating, I don't have a lot of the pearls left because I've actually made them into jewelry, but this is what came out of that mollusk. So sizable pearls in the creams, the peaches, the purples, and it was fascinating to see that so many different colors and shapes came out of one mollusk. And it had about 40 pearls. Well, I came away with about 40 pearls. I think that was possibly across a couple of mollusks, but 20 to 40 pearls is not unusual to put into the mollusk itself. So just packed full of these beautiful, beautiful pearls, and such a lovely shell. But on the trip that we did last year, I was talking to the farm, and they were talking about technology now and how they use DNA of the mollusk to identify which mollusks are going to create which color of pearl. So that's quite interesting. So this is how they're using the technology to increase their knowledge on the pearls. So this was the mollusk, one of those mollusks that you've seen in that video. This is one that we harvested. Now, just to give you an example of the size difference, this is a different breed of mollusk to this one. So each one is a different breed. Like the dogs come in different breeds, so do the mollusks. And so this particular breed of mollusk has got the most amazing insides. Look at that. Look at the iridescence off there. Absolutely insane. Beautiful, beautiful colors within the shell. And the mollusks that they are creating pearls from now are creating these metallic looking pearls, and they are phenomenal. And so these are the latest in the marketplace. And what we have done is we've partnered with one of the pearl farmers, and we are able to bring you whatever comes out of the harvest. So we wait, and then they say there's so much new coming out, and then they kindly ship us over some so that we can offer you whatever's new. So you're looking at such a difference in the luster and the iridescence of these. I mean, some of them look as if they've been dipped in gold. I'm sure lots of you own some of these as well from our trip out last year. And then the cream colored ones now have such an incredible iridescence to them. They look almost metallic. They are so impressive, and that is because of the way that they're culturing these pearls, that they're breeding the mollusks to bring out the different colors. But they still have a 4 to 5 year wait, because they plant them and then they have to leave them for 4 to 5 years. And as I said, environmental issues could occur where something could happen and they can lose their whole crop. So it's quite a risky game. It's a long-term game, isn't it, that you're playing, just waiting to see what comes out of the harvest has got to be quite incredible. One of the questions that I did get asked on the Facebook that I remember was, how do you get the fancy shape ones? So you'll see tonight, I think we've probably got some flowers and some stars and some stick pearls and things like that, and they actually insert a bead of that shape. So they don't magically create flower shaped pearls, unfortunately, but if they put a flower shaped bead in, then some of them will get evenly coated and create a flower shape. Some of them, I mean, very few of them actually get evenly coated. Most of them come out without a perfect shape, and those strings are sold as well for a lower price. But if you get the absolutely beautiful ones, they will sit at a higher price. So some pearls advertised as shell pearls and not pearl. What is this? So a shell pearl is not a pearl. It's made from the shell of the pearl. So it's actually really the bead that we've inserted in, and then they'll coat it with something to make it all different colors. So it's a ground up, crushed up shell that's made into a bead. So that's what it is. And they're normally really, really cost effective. You can buy strings and strings of them for next to no money. They're what they use for the costume jewelry. Yeah, they're effective. They're effective at that price point. If you wanted to put them in your sewing, if you wanted to do something crafty with them, then they're not a precious material. They're a constructive material, and they're very affordable. Culturing pearls has come on so far for what they can do now is incredible. It really has. Just the difference in my journeys from 5 years ago. Obviously, I couldn't go whilst we were dealing with COVID, and then when I went back, just the advances that have been made in that short space of time is quite incredible. You know, there's a lot of money in these pearls. The pearls to the Chinese market is absolutely enormous, an enormous market. And one of the reasons we went out last year is because the price of pearls had really hiked up, and I'd got quite cross. And I'd pretty much stopped buying pearls because I thought, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't seem right. It jumps so dramatically. And we were being told reasons why that could be happening, but I wanted to go and hear it for myself of why this had happened in the marketplace. And the reason was because of the Chinese market. So the Chinese were buying huge volumes of pearls. And because of the likes of TikTok, it was now massively accessible, but to the Chinese audience. So whereas I thought we were going to go over there and hear that TikTok had sold them all across the world, and but it wasn't. I mean, the amount that they're selling into the rest of the world is just minimal compared to the amount that they're selling themselves. Of course, then the demand was really high. They're a really high fashion item. Everybody wants them, and that pushed the price up dramatically. We're now seeing a reduction in the price, thankfully, and of course we pass that straight on to you, so we don't mess with the price. It comes in as a formula of what we get it for. So you're seeing a reduction in the price of some of the pearls and making them more affordable again. Because the great thing about pearls is that you can make something quite substantial, and it's cost effective if you use the freshwater cultured pearls. And then that market is a spectrum, and it goes right up into pearls that are worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. But you can get natural freshwater cultured pearls at an affordable price and then still get these absolutely incredible top quality pearls. It is an amazing, and that can come out the same mollusk. That's the thing that gets me, is that you open them and some of them are just awful, and then in there's just one absolutely beautiful one. Such an incredible it's an incredible thing. It's an incredible process. I think it's maybe the same shell. It is. Imagine the patients are waiting 5 years. I can't wait 5 minutes for a parcel to arrive. Exactly, Claire. It's just, even our farmers, you don't wait 5 years for the crop to come to you. You just do so many months, or it's a massive commitment. I don't know. Well, when I was thinking about putting them in the pond, I was like, I'm not sure I can just sit there and watch it for 5 years. I'd forget to fill the pond up or something, and they'd all die, and I'd feel awful. Yeah, but I don't think, Claire, would you think we could grow them in the pond? We'd have to import a mollusk, which in itself, I'm sure, isn't quite legal. Right, do you have any more questions? Have I covered most things? Let's talk about bleaching quick. Oh, did we talk about bleaching? We did. But I was going to show you what it looks like before the bleaching. So this is one of the pearls that came out, one of the mollusks, and this is the staining that comes on some pearls, and you can see it inside the shell. You see the patches of the staining, and obviously that goes onto the pearl, and it's just not desirable. People don't like it. It reduces the price of the pearls, and it can be removed by the bleaching. So that is the main reason that they bleach them. They don't change their color by bleaching them, so they're not treating them to change the color in any way, but just to remove any stains and marks from the pearl itself. And they also have to barrel them and polish them up, because when they come out, these are the ones that came out. These are probably a better example. So some of mine, we messed around while we were out in China, and some of mine went in the barrel and some didn't. But this is a great example, actually. So this one came out of the mollusk, and you can see that you wouldn't want that one. It's got a big, large hole in it. It's not very pretty, is it, that one? Although it looks like it's got a mushroom for a head, so it could be quite entertaining. And this has got some little dimples, but probably once that's been through the bleaching, they'll be less obvious, those ones. But they don't come out with the very high polish. But saying that, this one is looking beautiful, absolutely beautiful, perfect shape one. It's probably worth quite a lot of money, that one. I'm just showing them to Polly as she's sitting here. And such a variety comes out. But if it came out with the orange stain, or you need to just get rid of these little parts, then they just go through that bleaching process nice and easy. How can you tell if they are real? Okay, so how to tell if a pearl is real or fake? I've often wanted to do this. I wanted to go into Marks and Spencer's and and buy some of their pearls, because they sell freshwater cultured pearl jewelry, and they sell fake pearls as well. And they do. I've been in and had a look, and they do put it on the packet, but I'm not sure people really understand what they're saying. Anyway, so there are different ways. So you've got to think of what is trying to imitate a pearl. So quite commonly plastic. So plastic beads are made to look like pearl, or shell pearl is another one that's made to look like pearl. So there are some little things that we can do. Generally, if you work with pearls, and I always say this this to everybody about gemstones generally, that it's instinctive to a degree, that you know what a pearl feels like, how heavy it weighs when you see them all day, every day, then you start to work with them, then there will become an instinct to it. But for the plastic pearls, they'll feel different. They have a very, very smooth surface. I think this is why they try and get them to put them in your mouth, is that I think they say, although I don't know because I've never put the pearls in my mouth, that they feel slightly gritty on your teeth, do they? Whereas a plastic pearl would be absolutely perfect. You'll find natural imperfections in a natural pearl, and particularly in one that is in a piece of costume jewelry. It's not going to be absolutely perfect because it is a natural material. So I'd look at surface condition. One of the things as gemologists that we do is we look down the drill hole. Now that's quite tricky, so you need to get your loop, and then this is the first strand of pearls that we're looking at, and then you try and separate the pearls, and that's where it can be a little bit tricky. You're going to look down the drill hole, and you're going to look to see if you can see if it's plastic, if you can see that it's got a big bead inside, if you can see it's got nacre, if you can see it's been dyed. So looking down the drill hole is really quite crucial, and that will give you a good indication. But generally, if it's too good to be true, it's likely to be too good to be true. So if you're going to get a massive string of pearls for next to no money, that's not going to be a genuine pearl. Shell pearls are always very perfect, so they make them perfectly round beads. And again, in a pearl that is affordable, you would not expect to find it absolutely perfectly round, or it would not be affordable. So it's bearing in mind the price of the product varying versus what you're getting for your money. If it looks too good to be true, it's too good to be true. That's all I can say there. Other than that, we can test them in other ways. But if you were just to pick up pearls, so if you start working with pearls, and you guys obviously buy pearls and you work with pearls, you'll know that they have a certain feel to them, and you get used to them. Fleur says you can gently rub them together, and if they're plastic, they're smooth. Real pearls have a gritty texture. So yeah, they have. That's what I'm saying. I suppose I'm going like this because they have a feel to them. So these guys are saying they've got slight grittiness. But I don't know if Polly were to rub those, I don't think you'd describe it as gritty.
No,
I think it's a really misleading word that they're gritty. And if you did put them in your mouth and rub them on your teeth, it's not going to be like putting a bit of sandpaper on there. So again, you'd have to get used to the sensations. Claire says Scotland in the past had freshwater mussels that had pearls. It's illegal to remove them now. I'm sure it's the beautiful, clean, cool Scottish streams, maybe not the pond in the garden. That's Claire saying, no, we can't put them in the garden. But when I was a child and we used to eat mussels, and they were coming from Lincolnshire, there was loads of pearls in the mussels, tiny little seed pearls, and I used to collect them all up. But you don't see that now. Maybe they don't leave the mussels. Maybe the mussels are farmed en masse very quickly, and they're not there long enough to actually create the pearl. I would imagine that's what's happened. But I used to collect them. All the mussels that we ate as a meal, you'd find pearls in the mussels. They feel gritty on your teeth. I don't recommend you put the pearls in your mouth. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. There is a small farm, but they're really expensive. There you are. So when you see a coin pearl, are these real? Yes. So the coin bead is inserted. So a coin-shaped bead is inserted into the mollusk, and that is what's creating the shape of the coin pearl. Yeah. So they are natural but cultured pearls. I think this is where the confusion comes, that people, when you culture a pearl, they want to say it's not real, but it is real. The mollusk has made the pearl, the bead, into the pearl. It's coated it with an nacre and made it into the pearl. So that is a natural material. It's not been plastered on there. It is a natural material. So yeah, that's true. They feel like stone. They just have a distinct. I don't think they feel like stone, Emma, but then I feel a lot of stones. So I don't know. They definitely have a different texture to other things. But you have to get used to these things. One of the tests we do in gemology is we heft stuff. So and then when you find yourself teaching gemology, and I'm sure Claire's been in this position, and I used to teach a day course on coloured gemstones, and then you start to tell people that one of the ways we identify them is we heft them. And we sit there and we'll put something in our hand, and instinctively, if I were hoping, if I had mentally decided that there's a chance this could be a zircon, I would know that's a really heavy material, and so I know that how heavy it should feel, you know. And so you mentally do these things, and I think it's the same with the pearls, is that you know that they have a very particular feel about them, and that's what you're trying to get to. You want to read the last pearl we read in the Relax and Craft book club? Oh, did you? Yes, I do want to read that. You're right. Thank you, Jill. Right. Any more questions, pop them in. I think I've told you everything I can tell you. I mean, we harvested, Edison pearls. I did have a couple of these drilled, and that's a really good example to see that they don't come out really shiny. So this has to go through the barreler to get the colour to pop. But we did harvest Edisons, and in there, these slightly blue tints, which comes from this shell. You can see the blue in the shell, these little blue seed pearls. I mean, I can't wait to see what they look like when they've actually done their 4 years, because I think we disrupted them in a big way. But yeah, they're absolute gorgeous, aren't they? Lovely. Right. Okay. Everybody happy? Shall we show you some pearls then? So if you were just in for the education, we're done with that now. You can ask questions as we go, and then we're going to bring you the pearls. So I've just got to put all these away because I know which one's which. Right, that's 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, 4 bags, and then these ones go in this bag. I'll just pop them in fully so that I've been hefting gemstones for years, and I didn't even know it. Elysian says exactly. And you don't just do it with gemstones, do you? You do it with anything you're used to working with. I'm sure you do it with metal to a degree. I think anything, any expertise that somebody has, yeah, you do these things without realizing you're doing it, don't you? So, I tumbled some pearls on once in rice, and they came out amazing, but I don't recommend it. Why do you not recommend it? They came out amazing, Fleur. Husband has just hidden the credit card. You don't need it till the weekend, Emma. You're all right. Right. Thank you very much, Tracy. Thank you. Right. So we're going to start with some pearls. I've got this new system. So welcome if you've not joined us for a couple of weeks. And we have got a new system where we're streaming across Facebook and YouTube, both at the same time. I'm just wondering if I can kick my video out. Remove that one. And so this is, hoping it's not going to show, just taking a minute to wake up apparently. Let's remove it and then pop it back on again. It's not working. Of course it's not working. This is the other camera. Let me see if I can get this one. Yay, that did it. All right. Oh, Fleur's not responsible if you all barrel them in rice and they all break. I think, to be honest, I don't think they'll break. I think they'll be fine. Thank you very much, Beverly. Okay, let's get going. So this camera, I don't like this layout to you. Let's do it on this one. This camera is the closer to the pearls camera. So it's a little bit easier to see the condition of the pearls this way, because what you're looking for is very critical things. So I'm going to move this one out of the way. It's sometimes easier to see the pearls against the black background. So let's try and do that. So we can get a little bit closer. Oh, does it say free P&P? You're right. No, it's not free P&P. Thank you very much. I don't know how to edit that. Let me hide it a minute and then I'll just take that out. Unfortunately, P&P in the UK is not free. It is £3.70, capped at, I feel like I've made that up, £3.40. Granny will tell me in a minute. Capped at £7.90. There you are. Safe. Thank you for pointing that out. There you are. That's it. It's correct now. So there's no free P&P. I wish we could run free P&P, but it is so blinking expensive to post anything for Royal Mail now that we haven't been able to do it. So I do, but I'd love to do it all the time. Right, so what you're going to be looking for is the shape of the pearls. So this is a gorgeous strand. This is a really, really lovely strand. And you can see here that the pearls are really very round. Now, when I'm out buying pearls, what we do is we lie them on a black background like this. I'm sorry, it's a bit screwed up. And we actually roll the strands. And I'm looking, I can't zoom on this camera, unfortunately, but I'm looking to see how round they are. The rounder the pearl, the more valuable the pearl. So if you're trying to buy round pearls particularly, you need them to be absolutely perfectly round. It's really going to affect the cost. So this is a really lovely strand of very round pearls. They are beautifully round and also nice uniform color. So you're looking at the surface condition, and you can see on these particular pearls that they have got a lovely surface condition, nice and smooth. Often in pearls you get pits and you get marks and you get rings and things like that, but this is a very nice smooth surface. And then the other thing that you're looking for is the iridescent colors. So this one here under my finger, I can see a touch of pink coming out, and this particular strand isn't full of iridescent colors, but actually it's got beautiful skins, it's got beautiful symmetry, and its beauty is in the high luster. So you can see, as I'm looking at it, look at the little dot that is the light reflecting, and as I move it, you can see that the light is nicely reflecting, which means that it has a nice luster. So it might not be packed full of the colors that you saw in those metallic pearls, but this is a very, very nice pearl strand. Nice size as well. It's all good. So a beautiful, beautiful strand. I've classed it as a potato. If it's not perfectly round, I personally cannot call it a round pearl. So other people might call it a round pearl, but for a round pearl to be classed, in my opinion, as a round pearl, it does actually have to be perfectly round. So you get oval pearls, and we call those potatoes because they're slightly potato shaped. I don't know who designed that, but that was a foolish word to call a beautiful pearl a potato. But anyway, so these are all freshwater cultured pearls. As I said earlier on, if you are purchasing them and then making with them and reselling them, you need to state that they are freshwater cultured pearls by law. Particularly the cultured part is the key part. So keep that in mind. And now, if you wish to purchase from our live show today, all you have to do is type the code into the comment section. There on your screen. It is 1AB. The code is 1AB. If you wish to purchase this strand, you type 1AB into the comment section, and if I read out your name, you have secured the item. If you're a new customer, you just send us a message with your email address. You get a link by email, and then you can check out securely through our website. You just click the link and it takes you to your personal invoice. No one else can see that, and then you check it out through our website. So that's how simple it is. So type the code in, I read your name out, the strand's yours. The invoice will come out to you over the course of the weekend. We have had a slight change in our whole setup actually here at Charmers Gems. So we are now invoicing Mondays live on Thursdays. So if you don't receive Gemma's live invoice, the timings have changed slightly, but you will be receiving this one over the course of the weekend. So if you wish to purchase more than one of a strand, you just type the code and then times by however many you want. I've made that sound really complicated, but it's really not. If you're a new customer or just a new viewer and you're thinking, I'm not going to buy anything, you just say hi. You can say hi. We're really nice. And just say hi, and everyone will say hi back. I've got one of these for Nicola Bell. The strand length is a 36 centimetre string, unless I tell you otherwise. So I will make it really clear it's not a 36 centimetre strand, but string, not strand, string. But this is a really nice, that is going to make a beautiful, you can see how close to round they are. So it's going to make an absolutely beautiful strand. One for Nicola Bell, thank you very much. On to the next one. You're going to get mixed price points here. Tonight, the prices start from just £3, and then they'll go right up into the hundreds of pounds. So you're going to get a complete mix. So you can see here now that this again is this is going to be a nice affordable strand, and you've got some rings in here. Now, I personally really like the rings. They're my bag. I think they had a bit of interest, and it's part of the process where they come up with these little ring shapes. But you can see there you've got lovely iridescence on here as well. And again, this is 4 to 4.5, and it's a slightly cream color, but a really high luster. It looks almost metally when you move it. So the code for this one is on a 36 centimeter string, 2AC 2950 for this one. 2AC 2950. The 4 to 4.5 millimeter pearl size, it was really, really popular over the last couple of years, and we haven't been able to get hold of them. So we've got a couple peeping through now. 2AC 2950. It must be hard again for the farmer. If if you think, oh, that's a really popular size, but then you know, 4 or 5 years later, it might not be a popular size anymore. Next, I have got a near round. So this is in the larger size. So again, the size of the pearl really affects the price. So when it goes over 9 millimeters, you see an enormous hike in the price. So a bit like the diamonds, where they have jumps at half a carat, 1 carat, etc., etc. You get the same in the pearl market. So when it goes over 9 millimeters, you see a big hike. This one is a 6 to 7 millimeters. Very popular size for bracelets and for necklaces. That is a great size. Fleur's watching, so she can advise us as much as she likes. They do really elevate your outfit, don't they?
Yeah.
A pearl just changes the outfit totally. I can see you, Prudence. Don't worry, I can see you. Yeah, just straight away.
I always think that
That they just look so lovely. And you can go from that classic look to a really trendy look as well. And you see so many people wearing pearls. So many celebrities wear pearls. 3AD is the code. 6 to 7 millimeters, £29.50, and that is for your 36 centimeter string of your cream coloured near rounds. I'd say these are more potatoey, but when you name the pearls like I do, you get in a funny zone. Like, is it round? Is it potato? It's very tricky. I wish they came pre-named. Next, we've got some stick pearls, and these ones are drilled through. Sometimes we get stick pearls that are drilled through the side, but these ones are through drilled, sorry. And these are beautiful colors. These are natural colors, pinks, and these are the new colors coming out of those mollusks. So you can see, as I was talking about, you're getting that incredible, almost metallic luster coming off there. This is a great pearl to show you, actually. I'm just going to give you the code for this one. I don't know how many of these we've got. Have we got quantity? Okay, because this one is just £6 a string. Okay, so these are 20 to 22 milligrams. Honestly, don't even go there. Millimeters. 20 to 22 millimeters. 4BA for £6. Pink iridescence organic. Now, what I'm saying about organic is the shape is organic, not that they've been, not had chemicals sprayed on them in a field, but the shape is organic. So it is an irregular shape. I probably should have used that term, would have been a little bit clearer. So 4BA, but I'm going to use this as an example just to teach you a little bit about your skins, right? So the skin of the pearl is just that. It's the outside. And if we could I have number 1 back a second, Polly, please? Thank you. You're going to look at this skin much closer now, and you can see that it has some slight markings on it. You can see some little ridges. It's a beautiful, beautiful pearl. And for £6, that's insane. 4BA is the code. But it gives me a really good way to show you that is not a smooth skin. So it's got little ridges in it, and its growth, as it's grown, some little wrinkles. It's beautiful. Whereas if you look at the skin on the first pearl I showed you as a comparison, it's very, very smooth. Now that is where the price difference lies. So the very smooth skin like this is a much more valuable pearl than the wrinkly skin. I hope that's not true of ladies.
Thank you.
I feel that as we get more wrinkly, we become more valuable, ladies, don't we? So it's the opposite than it is in pearls. Are you all right there, Donna? Yeah, good. Right. I'm going to start reading them out. I feel like I haven't communicated with Donna, who is in my ear all evening. Do say hi to Donna. I know she did say hi earlier on. Maria, if I buy a string of pearls, can your team of jewelry makers make them into a necklace? I don't know. Somebody will, Christine. Buy a string of pearls and we'll find somebody to make it. I don't have that skill set. Fleur does, and lots of our customers do. So yes, we'll find you somebody. I've got 1 for Karen Garner, 4 for James Lomas, 1 for Beverly Jackson. Oh, can you see the YouTube, Donna? Yes. Just a minute, I can't hear you. I'm going to turn you up. You started off with what, sorry? Karen Garner, 4 for James Lomas, yeah. Candy Barnes for 2. Beverly Jackson, did you get Beverly? We're just doing YouTube first, guys. Okay, and Gillian Parker on YouTube I've got. You're all going to get one, so don't worry, it's not in the right order. It's fine because Donna's just done it a slightly different way. Then I've got the Facebookers. Yep, Tony Davis, Justine Morris, Carol Wilson, Shashank Kurma, Tracy Merrick, Nicola Bell, 3 for Wendy Jones, 1 for Sandra Dobinson, Nikki Stevenson, Chris Puffer, 2 for Amanda Disney, 2 for Nigel Limming, 1 for Yvonne Vickers. Then I've got Gillian Parker on YouTube, 3 for Anne Spedding. We didn't see you, Anne, no. So just a second. Lovely. Marie, that price can't be right. Surely. I liked a strand like this when you was in China, and it was about £100. It's the price. It's the price, Candy. Catch it while you can, I say. Catch it while you can. Maybe it's the end of the line. I don't know. So 4BA, I don't think £100 strand would go down to £6. So maybe you're right and I got the price wrong. 4BA, just £6. Let's move on. Don't put the fear into me, Candy. We don't have a number 5. No, we don't have a number 5. Just going on to a number 7. Interesting. Next, we have got I've got 1 for Vicky Rules as well. Thank you. This is your cream coloured rice pearl, 2 to 2.5 millimeters. Very, very cute, aren't they? Very delicate. Great for spaces. Great for tiny pearl things. Just great. £9. 2 4BAs for Candy Barnes, please. 7AE is your code for your again organic. So a non-uniform shape, 2 to 2.5 millimeters of your little rice pearls, and that is 7AE, just £9 a string. Nice color as well, slightly wrinkly. It's all good. The length of the strand is 36 centimeter strings. They're strings, they're not strands. 7AE is your code. I've got 1 for Tony Davis. Thank you very much, Beverly. I bought that from Elizabeth Hunt. It's an Argentium ring. I bought that from her craft shop. Beautiful, isn't it? Very nice. 1 for Tony Davis, 1 for Tracy Merrick, 3 for Elysian. I'm coming back to you in a minute, Swatty. 2 for Nicola Bell. They are gorgeous. Such a nice size as well. And if you wanted to just add a little accent of pearls to something, that's really nice. Swatty Rao would like 3 number 4s, please, Donna. And then we're going to go back down poor Donna's sheet, just a second. Okay, on the number 7s, I've got 2 for Shashank Kurma, 1 for Carol Wilson. Anyone else for a number 7? I'm going to move on, but you can keep bidding if you like. I like this strand. This is drop shapes. Aren't they nice? Little drop shape pearls. Love it. 1 number 7 for Swati Rao, please. Thank you. Oh, so cute. I'm liking the close-up camera on the pearls, aren't you? That makes it much easier to see because these have got really nice skins. They'd be nice little drop earrings. I think they're ever so cute. Right, Freshwater Cultured Pearls, oval drops, 4 to 4.5 millimeters, £9 a string, just £9 a string. You're getting plenty on your string there. I was going to decide if they were ovals or drops. They must be mixed on the strands. So 8AF is the code, just £9 a string for your oval, 4 to 4.5 millimeters. 8AF is your code. And nice colors in there. You've got some creams, some whites, a little bit of a varied strand, but lots to play with there. Lots of inspiration. 1 for Nicola Bell, 8AF. Really nice skins, nice colors, nice luster. 8AF. Let's move on. 3 for Elysian, please. 1 for Tony Davis. This is the larger version of that strand. So you've got some drops in here, some potatoes. It's quite a mixed strand. You can see that some have got some slight rings. This one's beautifully smooth. Nice iridescent colors. Look at the colors coming off this little drop. Very, very cute. that's about the size. This one is 9 AG, 4.5 to 5 millimeters, £9 a string. Great value for money, that some of these strings, aren't they? Absolutely excellent. Loving the relationship we've got with this pearl farmer. Absolutely love them to bits. They're actually coming to stay with me. They're coming to stay with me. Not this weekend, the weekend after. They're coming to stay with me. They stayed last year, but were you there?
Yeah. I was wondering whether it was the same person.
Yeah. So the mother and daughter are coming over. Yeah. I don't know if you were in, or I can't remember.
I came back on one of the days just before you taken to
Okay.
the airport.
Yeah. So you definitely met them. One for Tony Davis, one for Nicola Bell. Gorgeous, aren't they? £9 a string. Nice sizable pearl as well on that one for £9. Two for Elysian. She has to visit Ed. She's going to visit, so because we took Johnny out to China. So when they came last time, Johnny spent the day with us. And then when we were in China, Mrs. Dong was helping us in China when we were doing beads, actually, because she came over from the pearl farms to spend time with us and to see Johnny. So they're just absolutely lovely, really lovely. Johnny's my son, in case you don't know. So one of my sons. These are little tiny 3 to 3.5 millimeter drops. Very, very sweet size. That they are nice cream colors, again, nice skins, quite uniform, and just a nice affordable pearl. This one is 10 AH for £8 a string. I often think that pearl buying, especially when we do big shows, when we've done the big shows out in China, or when we've done them in India with the pearl guy in India, who's an incredible person, it becomes quite tricky, doesn't it, from the other side of the screen, because we show you a similar looking pearl on the screen for a different price point, and you think, and you can't remember if you got a rice pearl, if you got this. So I do appreciate it can be a little bit tricky. So we tried to curate it a little bit more this time and not have a lot of repetition, because that does make it difficult. But ultimately, I tell you which ones are really nice. That's how it works. And a lot of you, I know, are looking for particular price points. So if you're looking to make specific jewelry and you need a price point, then these ones are definitely the price point range. As I said, the prices will go up shortly. So I've got one for Tony Davis, one for Nicola Bell, two for Elysian. I've got you, Nicola, don't worry. 10 AH is your code. 3 to 3.5 millimeters. We're now going into some of the larger Baroque pearl. So a Baroque pearl is not a round pearl. It's an off-shaped pearl, and it's become, this shape has really, I think, become known as Baroque, but it used to be anything that wasn't perfectly round, or it was slightly off shape, it would be classed as Baroque. But now I think that this shape is known as Baroque. I've got Justine Morris, please, for a 10 AH. So this is a lovely size strand, 10 to 18 millimeters. So it's approximately a 10 millimeter bead, I think, and they're around about 18 millimeters in length. This is the whole string that you're going to get in here. I'll show you a couple of them. So you're going to have on these ones, they're not going to be absolutely perfect. You'll probably see some slight pits in here, so you can see here, but nothing. They're going to have a good side on all of them. So this is a way to buy the larger pieces more affordably, is if you can find that one pearl there, it's going to look lovely from that side, but on the other side, you see, you might not like the fact it's got this little fold. So you might have to be a little bit more selective to get your Baroques to a price point that you can work with. So just be careful, because when they get little pits like this, which you saw there in the rough, they actually color them in. So there's no major scientific treatment going on here. They'll get a marker pen and they will color them in. So sometimes on the silver ones, you get little silver patches and things. So what I try and do is make sure for it not to get rejected from me. This is a price point strand for this size of pearl. That if we look at the skins again, you can see they're lovely, smooth skins, really nice. Good size bead over the 9 millimeters, so you know it's going to have gone up the price point. And I would always want it to have one nice side, and then it's a great price point. I'd love to know what you think, though. Do let me know what your opinion on these sort of pearls is, because then if you've got the odd pit, because I know some people put little pegs in the pits. There's another one here. I have a pearl knotting masterclass on YouTube. Fleur, Fleur has got a pearl knotting masterclass. Thank you, Fleur. I'd totally forgotten about that. When we went to China, Fleur did us a whole series of all different ways to pearl knot. So head over to Relax and Craft on YouTube and then subscribe, and you can do the pearl knotting masterclass. Thank you. I'd totally forgotten about that, Fleur, but I'm very grateful. You can see this one's still got a little bit of staining, but generally on the strand, you're going to have a nice strand of chunky baroques, and these are very fashionable. And like I said, sometimes people put little cutie pegs in them and all sorts of things to hide the marks. And this is only $39.50. That is very, very affordable for this size pearl. So on there, you're going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, approximately 17 pearls for $39.50. Let's do the maths on that. £2.32 a pearl. Now that really is a very, very good price. If you are going to think about maybe you want to test out the baroque shape, then this is definitely one to do it on, because on some of these pearl strands are going to go into the hundreds with the baroques in, because they're large and lustrous and gorgeous. I've got a number 9 AG, please, for Beverly Jackson, 11 BD on there, so approximately £2.33 per pearl. So they are amazing, amazing value for money. 11 BD. I've seen when you go around there's a sort of pearl supermarket, for once of it's a hypermarket, to want a better word. And there's some of them, they turn them, because they like characters in China, don't they? So they're like the little cutesy rabbits and the ducks and all of those sorts of things. And they put little pegs in, making them all look like creatures. They're very cute, very cute. One for Nicola Bell, one for Wendy Jones, one for Rockpool Jewelry, please. Could you put Joanna's Rockpool Jewelry? Thank you. 11 BD is your code, $39.50. Great value for money, that strand. Whoop. Ticket. Sorry. Oh, Polly, I didn't half miss you last week. Blimey. I was trying to do a massive bead live on my own. It was hard. It was hard work. So it made me extra grateful for you this week. I think you can put milliput clay into the crevices and add sparkles like Swarovski crystals. What a good idea, Amanda. I like that idea. I don't know, because I don't make jewelry, but that's a really good idea. My favourite is when they make them into whales. Yeah, they do little fish and all sorts of things, don't they? I keep trying to persuade Fleur to come out with me to China, but I haven't persuaded you, because you're going to die of an anaphylactic shock, really, Fleur, aren't you? Because we're going to feed you something that you don't know what it is, and Fleur's got allergies, and then I'll have a sick Fleur. I can't be accountable for that. So these ones have a higher luster, so these have more iridescent colors, so you can see they're almost silvery in appearance there. It's a really nice strand. This one is 13 to 15 millimeters, $44.50. So again, a nice chunky size, but much more silvery in appearance than the previous strand. So they're very nice. 12 BE for $44.50. But even though Fleur's not going to come out to China with me, I still ask you every time, don't I? Are you going to come? She says no. There's loads of people I ask, because you'd be surprised how many people say, oh, I'd love to come with you. So I mentally put them on a list. And then when it's time to go, I'm like, oh, just to let you know, we're going out today. You're welcome to come. And everybody chickens out. Can Rockpool cancel 11 and have a 12 instead? Ooh, I don't know if Donna's going to let you do that, Joanne. Let's see what she says. I'm sure she will. She's always in a good mood. I've never known you to be in a bad mood, Donna. You've got a very nice temperament, haven't you? She has. She's very calm. She's the most caring person you'll ever meet, Donna. She's this lovely, caring, and she looks after everybody around her. So you just want to be in that circle. That's it. So here they are, right? These are kind of almost a double pearl. Aren't they beautiful? I need a few months' notice, but you know, Fleur, my brain doesn't work like that. You're lucky if you get a few weeks' notice in my mind. 13 AI, 7.5 to 8 millimeters, $24.50, and they are kind of a double pearl. I quite like them. I think you can make little snowmen, really. 13 AI. I've got a number 12, please, for Shashunk. Thank you. 13 AI, 7.5 to 8 millimeters. Maybe we just go in for a really short period of time, Fleur, so that you don't have to eat, and you could just like eat crisps or something. We'll have to find a version where a Fleur-friendly version. 13 AI, $24.50.
You'll have to bring your own food. Pot noodles it is.
That's it. Pot noodles. They do loads of noodles. You can get as many noodles as you want in China. So I don't know what they'd think of a pot noodle. They'd probably be heartbroken. We destroyed their noodles. That's it. 9 to 10 millimeters near rounds in a cream. So this is a lovely strand. If you wanted to do just your classic, they don't half roll, do they? If you wanted to do your classic pearl necklace, that would be beautiful, wouldn't it? In your near rounds, really lovely. Christine's retired. I'm glad to hear it. I thought you said you were tired initially when I read it. I was like, oh yeah. I feel that. I feel tired. I spoke to the GP this week, and he said all your bloods are fine, minus a couple of tiny hiccups. And I said, I'm just so tired. He said, how long have you been tired? I was like, 5 years. And he's like, maybe you're just tired. I was like, maybe I am just tired. Yeah, just old. But anyway, Christine's retired. Congratulations, Christine. How lovely. So you're a workaholic as well. So that's amazing. These are your lovely large size. Nice way to get a large size pearl. 14AJ 2250 in your cream color. If you want to get that beautiful classic pearl necklace look, 14AJ 2250. That is a good price for 9 to 10 millimeter rounds. Really, really good price at 22.50. I feel like I need someone next to me going, wow, yeah, I buy pearls and you can't get them for that price. Look at this one. This is a graduated. Oh, that's a beautiful strand. Look at this. Oh yes, the price point's somewhat different on this. so
ever so slightly.
Yeah. So this one is, I don't think I've put the graduation. Yes, I have. 10 to 13 millimeters. Gorgeous skins, gorgeous lusters. Look at that. A beautiful, beautiful strand, a graduated set. Very nice.
Wow.
The code for this one is 15AK for £120. And again, although that sounds a lot, how much you can retail a really nice large pearl necklace for is quite considerable. I'm sure someone will shout out and say how much they go for. So 15AK, £120, beautifully matched. You're looking at nice matching there, nice quality, nice luster, not the traditional cream color. 15AK, £120. Okay, let's go on. Oh, I know I'm going to like this one. Yes, I am. This is a string of Edison pearls. So the Edison pearl I was talking about earlier on is the pearl that I don't think I actually told you about Edison pearls. I did it in a video earlier on. And these grow individually within the sex organ of the mollusk. It's delightful. But by being trapped in the sex organ, which Fleur's going to laugh in a minute and tell me that I have to say the name, means that they don't really get to move around, whereas within the body of the mollusk, they can move around, and that's how they tend to misshape, and you get the extra tails and the wibbly wobblies. But what did you call them earlier on, Candy? Knobbly bobblies. And I was like, yeah. But in the sex organ, they stay quite still. So they tend to come out extremely, extremely round and perfect. Now, Edison pearls are very valuable because they can only grow one at a time. And they are this gorgeous light blue to light purple color. And on that shell that we had earlier, on the large shell, where did you put the shell, please, Bonnie? The big shell. You can see that the color that's coming through from these Edisons, absolutely beautiful, and a whole string you're going to get here. These ones are Freshwater Cultured Edison purple near rounds, 10 to 13 millimeters, 16 AL, £120 for the string. Thank you very much. I'm just going to show you inside the mollusk, and you can see the beautiful purples and the blues. And then if we put it in there, you can see that has come from a mollusk like this. Really nice, gorgeous, gorgeous colours. Thank you very much. And that is 16AL. Oh, that one's gone to Emma Cartwright, who's replacing her menopause pearls with post-menopause pearls. Very wise, Emma. So now, I love these. I love them. I love the ones with the wibbly wobblies, or the knobbly bobblies, as Candy called them earlier. A 16 as well, Christine Jamal. Thank you. And these are sometimes called wrinkly pearls, all sorts of different names. And these are the ones that originally they would have been rejected for their surfaces just not being smooth enough. but I think they're gorgeous. I love their wobbly surfaces, and it's just from the production. As they've grown, they've moved around a lot, and they just haven't come out very smooth. I think that's all it is. I don't think they've done anything to enhance the wobbliness of the skin. But this is a gorgeous strand, isn't it? It's not only extremely colourful, but it's also very lustrous. You've got loads of luster. You've got a really high luster, and as well as that, you've got that metallic appearance on the string, and the complete variation on color as well. A gorgeous strand. This one is 17 AM 2150. Love the colors on them, Tony said. Yeah, really nice and bright and metallic. 17 AM 2150. If you go back in the market, I don't know, maybe 10 years, do we think, guys? 10 years, the metallic pearls, they just had never been seen before. And yeah, they were all the rage, and they had hefty price points. 17 AM 2150 is your 36 centimeter string of this gorgeous strand of colorful, delightful, metallic-y, nibbly knobbly wibbly wobbly pearls. I mean, what more could you want?
We
Approximately 7.5.
Ourselves.
We should come up with the names. None of this potato, none of that. We could come up with great names. Yeah, exactly. So I've got 4 for James Lomas, 1 for Anne Spedding.
Thank you.
3 for Candy Barnes. I'm only seeing YouTube codes at the moment, so let's see if anything comes through from Facebook, or if you're all hiding over on YouTube.
They're still so gorgeous, though.
They are really nice. I know, even though that's not perfect to them. So I've got 4 for James Lomas. Oh, then there's only 1 left, and that's gone to Anne Spedding. I'm so sorry. Oh, Candy Barnes. I'm so sorry, Candy. You probably sat all day waiting for those as well. I'm so sorry. We'll find you some. I will ask the pearl farmer myself. I didn't know there was low quantity. Sorry. Well, are there any more low quantities? Not this one. This one's number 18. So this one is a potato, 4 to 5 millimeters. Again, nice luster, nice and affordable. This one is 18 AN for £11. Cream colour potato, your staple really, for £11. Nice size, goes with everything. 18 AN. We do have quantity of this one, don't we? For £11. 4 to 4.5 mil. I'm just going to keep moving because this is a cream colour, 5 to 7.5 mil. That's not within one strand. The strands might have a slight variation. Oh no, I think it's 5 by 7. It's quite an oval pair there. On the 18s, I've got 1 for Nicola Bell and 1 for Gillian Parker, please. 3 for Elysian. This one is 5 to 7.5 millimeters. They're a potato, and they are 19 AO for £12.50. That is great value for money. 19 AO, £12.50 for that lovely large oval. Nice colour again, very classic colour. 19 AO, £12.50. 1 for Nicola Bell.
Thank you.
1 for Gillian Parker. Love these. I've got 2 for Maureen Burnett. Excuse my cough. It's nearly gone, but it's not quite gone, which is good going as I've only had it a fortnight. Right, these, I wonder if they were trying to make the alphabet, because some of them on another string, so I can't guarantee you this exact shape, because I don't know where the main strings are of the whole hank, but some of them are E's, little letter E's and all sorts, but they're quite fun, aren't they? The things that you could do with all these quirky shapes. I really like them. 19 for Catherine Woolard, please. This one is 20 BF. They're 10 to 15 millimeters for £27. And they just have the quirkiest shapes. I'll put them down here so that you can see them a bit clearer. As I said, some of them on some of the strings have got lots of little E's or V's. And I wonder if that's what they were trying to do. I think they're a lot of fun. They look like teeth, Gillian says. They do look a bit like teeth. 20 BF, £27. Just really different.
Yeah. Just wait, see what shapes they make next.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if you could suspend them like that. I think they're quite. They look like Stonehenge, James says. They do. I have a funny feeling that James is not James. You're someone else, I think. 20BF,
What do you
£27.
mean?
I think it's James's partner. I could be wrong. Who
Ah.
comes on James's account? I could be wrong. I'm sorry,
Oh.
James, if you are James. And then this next one.
Like, wait, what?
That's it. The next one. There are a couple of customers who piggyback their partner's account, of course, or you're watching it together and you don't want to watch it on two accounts. So these are quite fun, aren't they? So again, there are lots of different sort of unusual shapes, not quite Yakeshi cornflakey style, a mixture really. Some are thicker than others. They're a mixed shape. They're very nice. Look at that. Lots of fun. Very inspiring string. 21BH, and they are 10 to 15 millimeters for 24.50. It's just James. I take it back, James. I'm so sorry. In my head, James, you're sitting there with your partner. So that's it. 21BH, 24.50. To apologise. See, it's very difficult for me. I don't know who anyone is on the other side of the screen, and all I get to see is this tiny, tiny circle, but it is actually a bit bigger on this streaming platform, I must say. So I imagine little personas for all the people. You've all got little personalities in my mind. It's only when we meet someone that we get to really know them. One for Candy on the 21s, please, and 3 for Vido Label. I hope I've said that right. Thank you. On Facebook. 21BH 2450. That's a nice thing. VIDO space label. I think it's probably a business account. These are your pink and purple bi-coloured baroques. I love the bi-colours. Absolutely love it, because imagine how lucky you are to get a bi-coloured pearl out of a mollusk. It just must be so rare. And then they string them all up as if they're really, really common, and people get quite complacent about them. But to get the clearly two different colours on the one pearl, that's really, really smart. And these are natural colours. No one's dyeing them like this. I think they're really cool. And again, almost going into that metallic. They're just beautiful. Really, really nice. Quite a nice size, this one. This one is 12 to 20. No, that it's not. See, I've just made that up. 14 to 25 millimeters, 22BI. If it's £110, but you get lots of pearls on there. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 pearls on there. That works out at £5.79 per pearl. So really, really affordable. If you're thinking about making earrings, this is a great way to do it, because you buy the whole string, then you can pair them up and make earrings and pendants to match. And that's a fun job, because I get to do that for a living and it's fun. 22BI, £110, but that just works out at £5.79 per pearl.
It
is, isn't it, when you actually sit and break it down? And sometimes when you've got jewelry to make, and you think, oh, that's quite an investment in the pearls, but actually you make multiple pieces of jewelry there. James says I'll sell that with a gold class for £1,500. So that's you're talking that they go for a lot of money. Pearl jewelry goes for lots of money. This is just an amazing way to buy pearls, so that you don't have to pay the big money for them. They are very pretty. Thank you, Christine. Right, so these are actually sets, so they pair these up. I'm just trying to pull them in. So in here you get a 2-piece pair that have been paired up by them like this, and they are, let's have a look, half drilled. So you need to put a peg in the top, and so they're half drilled, so nice and simple. 4 earrings, very affordable. 14 to 25 millimeters, £14.50 for a matched pair. That's great value for money. Yeah, that's it. Half drilled. I'll just give you that code again. 23BJ is the code there. £14.50.
Thank you.
One for Tony Davis. Thank you, Tony.
They're the same code.
This one.
No, that one and that one.
And then there's the pink ones. Okay, because some of them, they didn't split the colours. If you wanted, I've got one for Rachel Minchell Wilson. Hi, Rachel. I don't know if you booked onto the setting course. I can't remember when that was, Rachel. But one for Chris Puffer on the 23s. So this is actually under the same code, but if you put pink, then we'll know that it's the pink ones that you're after. So again, matching pairs here. These are half drilled, but they've put them under one code for us. Doesn't help us. Nicola Bell, 23p BJ, but if you want pink, put pink. They're not really pink, they're purple and gold, but just because I said so, let's put pink. Another one, pink one for Tony Davis, please. A pink one for Anne Spedding. Could you just write pink somewhere, Donna, please? They're nice, aren't they? I like these. Very nice. They're the bi-coloured ones. I've got lots of pinks just to make Donna's life really difficult. I should have given them 2 codes, sorry. I've got pinks for Nicola Bell, Louisa Gall, Amanda Disney, Karen Garner, Carol Wilson, Christine Jamal, Nikki Stevenson, 2 for Candy Barnes. Oh, I've lost Donna. And 1 for Beverly Jackson. Hopefully Donna's got all that, or I have to say it all over again. And then I'd already got Tony as well. Did you get all those names, Donna? Yes, she did. So she's on it. Sorry about that.
First. 24 and then 25.
Oh, sorry. I'm mixing up all
It's
the
all right,
codes. Are you happy, Donna? Yeah, so Donna's happy, so I'll move on. So these are a Baroque coin. There are rice pearls within the live, Marjorie, absolutely. These are Baroque coins. So they've planted a coin bead. These are all freshwater cultured pearls if you've just joined us. They've planted a coin-shaped bead, but it hasn't gone perfectly coin-shaped. So Baroque is the name for the round shape typically, but it means that it's not a perfect shape. So these I class as a Baroque coin. Nice though, aren't they? Because I think they just give a little bit of a different dimension. I've been trying to learn more about soft furnishings and decorating your home since I've been trying to decorate my kitchen. And it's talking about textures, and also Gemma Crow's taught me a lot here as well, talking about the different textures. And sometimes, you know, when you're putting them with the smooth beads, to have something a little bit textured like this, I'm sure is going to enhance the jewelry, make it look a bit different. It looks really good as a bracelet. That's a good size for a bracelet, isn't it? Let's just wriggle those up the wrist, lose the jumper. Now the heating in here, poor Polly's sweating away.
Yeah.
Because I had the heating on for hours. Really nice. Look at that. Nice size. They are 20 to 21 millimeters with that nice textured surface in the nice colours. This one is 24 BK, £36 a string. 24 BK is your code, £36. I have those and they're stunning, Candy says. Thank you. 24 BK. Let me give you a count there for your 36. I'll just pop that code in. You're looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 pieces on there. So that is an approximately £1.80 each. So they're, again, really good value for money. I've got 1 for Carol Wilson, 24 BK, 1 for Elysian.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's just put the white cloth down a second, as we're going to do a couple of peacocks so you can see the colour. Peacocks next. So peacock pearls are dyed coloured pearls. They're very, very, very popular, and not surprisingly, because they're really pretty colours, aren't they? Look at that. So you get, we've been trying to hunt out in the marketplace all the teal coloured pearls. So while we were over in China, everybody was asking for teal colours. They were saying that they dye them in batches. When the harvest comes, they dye them. So once they've gone out the market, they're not going to dye them the same colour again. So I think they must have been out out looking for all the tealy colours for us ever since, because loads of them have got the teal in. So really kind of them. That's what you know when your supplier's working with you. These are a lovely potato 4mm, and they're just £12.50. Do we have a limited quantity on this one? Number 25.
Yeah.
5 of these available, so there's only limited quantity in most of the peacocks. 25BL, £12.50, but there's only 5 available there in your nice 4. I think they're a bit chunkier than 4mm personally. 4 to 5mm. I've got one for Gillian Parker, one for Kinga Rutherford. That one, Polly.
Thank you.
Yeah, from Facebook, Kinga Rutherford. One for Nicola Bell. One for Wendy Jones. There's one left if anyone wants that last one. Look at these colours. These are really cool. And the last one's gone to Beverly Jackson. That one is sold out. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. You're back in the sellout zone. This is your dyed approximately 8mm. So you've got all sorts of colours going on in here. You've got some burgundies, some teals, some greens. The very on-trend colours. I'm loving the burgundy. I've got burgundy trousers on at the moment. I'm loving the colours in the shop. So you're looking at burgundies, greens, purples, some really cool colours going on. Nice and bright. This is your 8mm 26BM for £12.50. Again, I think we've got limited stock of number 26.
Yeah, you have this.
4 of this one. Only 4 of this one
On
available.
this one.
Okay, can you tie it at all?
The 3 of them have come off, but
Okay.
it's too loose, too small to tie.
So take another one off and see if you can tie it there. Thank you. Sorry, this one is 26BM. One for Tracy Merrick. And there's only 3 of these remaining now. One for Chris Puffer.
Thank you.
One for Amanda Disney. And the last one has gone to Tony Davis. Thank you very much. They've sold out. This is number 27. Do you have a quantity on 27? Sorry.
Yeah, of course. On the next page.
6. Donna says 6. Thank you. So this one is another Baroque coin, again in a peacock, which is a dyed colour. They're cool, aren't they, though? Very nice, dark, mysterious dye, peacock colour there. Look at that. This one is 27BN, £21.50, 17 to 18.5mm dyed freshwater cultured pearls in the peacocks there, with lots of the darker colours. 27BN. Beautiful, beautiful. One for Anne Spedding.
28 is this one, but it's not fully tied.
Okay, thank you. Let's just hold that one. Do we have a quantity on 28, please? I've got 127 for Louisa Ball.
There's 5.
There's 5 of this strand. Unfortunately, this one, the string has snapped. So I like this. I like it with the rectangles that have grown in a Baroque shape. So non-perfect rectangles, but they're really quite striking, aren't they? I love those. The wibbly wobbly rectangles. The code for this one is 28BO. I've got a 27, please, for Catherine Woolard. 28BO. They're 7 to 11mm and £14.50. James says they're little wine bottles. Look, aren't they? I love it. Tiny bottles. 5 green bottles hanging on a wall, James. So 28BO, £14.50, 7 to 11mm for your Baroque rectangles in the peacocks.
Should I get a little box that we've got somewhere to put?
Yes, I might have a packet.
Oh, perfect.
They can kind of go in there. Thank you. I've got one for Randy Melrose. The packet's broken, but at least they won't. Lisa will know. 29. Is this 29? 28. I don't have a ticket. Oh, it's 30. Is this 20? Is this 29? That's that one.
Okay. Yeah. There's 29. Not got a ticket.
No. Do you have a number 29, Donna?
Oh, tickets falling out there.
Oh, we've got it. Yeah. Thanks, we found it. So these are little, I'll just give you the whole box. Let's have a look at the whole box. These are round through drilled coin pearls. So in the silver colour. So really, really metallic surfaces. And we're doing 2 pieces. On the 28th, I've got one for Laura Ford, one for Ranny Melrose, and one for Anne Spedding. Thank you. So these are little coins. They are approximately 12 millimeters, and they're really cute, aren't they? Through drilled pearls. So you're going to get 2 pieces in your pack. They are just £6 for 2 pieces. 29 CA for £6. So that is an example of your pack there. You're going to get 2 pieces like that. 29 CA. We've got all of these, guys. So multi-purchase away. Get as many as you can. I can try and pair them as best I can. Can't guarantee they'll be the perfect pair. Well, if I'm live tomorrow morning, so I might be able to pair some up for you then if you want me to start pairing things. It takes a lot of time to get things paired. 29 CA, one for Tony Davis, and you get 2 pieces for £6. 3 for Nicola Bell, 1 for Agnes, 1 for April Leask, 1 for Rachel Minshaw Wilson, 1 for Beverly Jackson, 1 for Louisa Gall, 2 for Amanda Disney. Anyone else? 29 CA for £6 for 2 pieces. Oh gosh, look at the iridescence on there. Ah, it's just beautiful. 1 for Sandra Dobinson. Are they dyed? No, this is a natural colour, and they are through drilled. I think the drills are about a 0.6 to 0.8 on all of the pearls. Yeah, stunning. Very nice. Very colourful. 2 for Carol Wilson. You could just read through that box all day, but you don't need to, because look, there's another box of other colours. These ones are same again, 12 millimeter. These are the pink and gold, and you get 2 pieces for £6 as well, like this. And again, I will try and pair them, but I can't guarantee they're going to be perfect. I've got a Catherine Woolard for a 29, please. And they are gorgeous. A whole variety of the pink, of the purples and the orange. Again, with those metallic colours. So many different colours actually within them. They might. I'm going to go for 2 pieces. I can't guarantee the pair, but if you put on your invoice when you check out, put your notes in if you need them paired. I'll try and pair a batch for Lisa. Or if we're live tomorrow, then when we're live tomorrow, we are live tomorrow at 9:30. I'll try and do some live pairing. 30 sea bead, 4 for Laura Ford, 3 for Nicola Bell, 1 for Karen Garner, 2 for Anne Spedding, 2 for Amanda Disney. Nothing's going on the website from this live, no. 1 for Sandra Dobinson, 1 for Ranny Melrose, 1 for Chris Puffer. No, these are natural colour. I'll tell you if they're dyed, but do feel free to ask. You can always ask, because I might forget, you know what I'm like, but I will do normally tell you. It normally tells you in the code as well up here if they're dyed. 1 for Sandra Hollingshead, 2 for Carol Wilson, 1 for Beverly Jackson. They are through drilled, she says confidently. Do you know they're not? They're half drilled. That was a good question. They're half drilled, people. That's going to give you a headache, that is. I can try and through drill them if I get a drill bit. And take them home. So they're half drilled. Sorry, my mistake. If you need to remove them, let me know, but hopefully you work with them. If you want them through drilled, if you put the notes in the comments, I'll try and through drill them. 1 for Agnes, 2 for Bridget DeWall, and 1 for Vicky Rawls. Yeah, that's annoying, isn't it? Why would they do that? 29 for Chris Puffer. Did we get you, Chris? Let me have a look. We did. We got you. Donna's got you. Thank you. Okay, that's those ones.
Thank you.
Oh, these. They're so nice to
know.
photograph. I mean, I took so many photos of just these pearls. I like half drilled, Sandra says. Oh, good. It's not everybody's a full drill kind of a girl. Any 27s left, please? Then Wendy would like one. Thank you. Look at that. So same colours. So the same breed of mollusk creating these incredible orange and purple colours, metallic colours together. You could do it like this. Twiglets. Oh, James, you know, I crave twiglets. They're really hard to find now. I love some. You never had a twiglet? Oh,
am I missing out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could live on twiglets. If I get a big bag, I eat the whole lot. Look at that. You could either have them like that or you could mix them all up, couldn't you? I'm sure some of you got amazing ideas of what to do with these. They're really easy to photograph. Pearls are a pain in the neck to photograph generally, but these really do photograph well. So they are oranges and the purple metallic colours. They're quite long. They are 25 millimeters by 5 millimeters, and that is on your 36 centimeter strand. So you've got loads and loads and loads and loads on your strand length there. They are such a fun strand. 31cc is the code, and they are £75 a string. A 27, please, for Beverly Jackson.
I just googled them. The difference of what I thought they were.
Twiglets?
Yeah, I don't know why I thought they were like a sweet thing in a blue packaging, but I don't think I've ever had them ones either.
I don't know what that is, a sweet thing in a blue packaging. 31cc. Twiglets are Marmite flavoured.
Yeah.
Do you like Marmite? Not really. Polly doesn't really mind on anything. I think you'd like them. 31cc is your code. There, it's awesome. I know it's a pricey strand. If you broke it down, I mean, how many are going to be on there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's 10. They're probably a pound. They're probably about £1 a stick. I would guesstimate, because that's a hell of a lot of pearls. So that is loads. So although you have to pay the £75 outlay, they're probably going to come out about £1 a pearl at 31cc. So they are great value for money. Next up, the little nuggets. Look at these. So top drilled nuggets. They're 8 to 9 millimeters with a metallic silver to them. Again, natural color. 32 CD, quite chunky. So we do get some of these that are very, very thin, but these are the chunky one. Excellent, excellent color. Look at that silver, really, really metallic. 32 CD for £66, 8 to 10 millimeters. Number 33, do we have a quantity of this one?
33.
This one, 10 of these ones. So these are a lovely pastel color. So these are a pale peach and a pale pink, I'd say. Really pretty. Again, with that metalliciness to them. I'll bring them up close to the screen so you can see. Really, really, really beautiful. Lots of different colors within, but more of a pastel look. This one is 33 CE for £24.50, approximately 8 to 10 millimeters. So a bit like your stick pearl, but drilled the other way at 33 CE. Nice color. That's very, very nice color. Lovely.
Thank you.
I was talking about the flower shapes earlier on. So I've got 2 33s, please, for Candy Barnes. These are your flower shapes. So they pop in a flower shaped bead and then the mollusk coats the whole bead. But most of the time, they will come out not perfectly flower shaped. So it won't have the definition in the curves and all of that sort of thing. It's really tricky to get the absolutely perfect ones. So this one is a great strand because you do have so much definition in the shape. I mean, we also do stars, and when they don't come out perfectly, they tend to have tails, and they're like shooting stars, and I really love those. I prefer those to the stars. But this is a really nice strand. Again, you've got that beautiful cream color, but with that metallic finish. So very nice, very trendy, aren't they? Very trendy. This one is 12 to 14 millimeters, 34 CF, £60 for the strand with all your beautiful flowers on there. 34 CF is your code for £60 for the whole string. Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh, more different nice silvery colours. Little silver coloured nuggets. Did you say the items are going onto the website? Unfortunately not, Prudence. No, this is not this isn't alive with a shop, unfortunately. So it's buy now, or you can direct message with the codes if you're watching back, but we're not able to put them into a pop-up shop this weekend. So we just haven't had the time, unfortunately. But we can try and do it in the future if everyone really wants. So these are high luster. So they've got a very high luster. They've got that beautiful silveriness to them. They're 4 to 5 millimeters, flat ovals, I've called them. £36.50. Very delicate strand. Very nice. 35 CG, £36.50. Oh, I love this next one. How cool.
Yeah.
That one.
Thank
We've
you.
got, these are really cool. Quite unusual shapes. Look, little birds sitting on a washing line, don't they? Candy barns for a 35 CG. Thank you. Well, they really do look like little birds. I'm sure you can make them look like birds sitting on a washing line. Quite a nice shape, aren't they? A baroque with a tail. 36 CH, 7 to 15 millimeters. So the bead size will be about 7 mil. 36 CH, £60. And again, on there, you've got absolutely packed full of these little birds. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 49 on this particular strand. So that works out at £1.22 per pearl. That's really cool. Wow. One named Peter and one named Paul, James says, indeed. 36 CH, £60 for your strand, 7 to 15 millimeters. Thank you. Now these are some heart shapes, again with the silver color heart shape, slightly more organic shape, not 100% perfect, but they are a nice shape, and they've got like a shield really. And that beautiful metallic luster. This is 37 CI, 16 by 11 millimeter flat hearts, £39.50. They are quite flat, look, aren't they? Some of them come out a little bit chunkier than that. 37 CI for £39.50, 16 by 11 millimeters.
Thank you.
We've got another dyed peacock here. So you've got a dyed peacock strand. And this one, I'll just give you the code, is 9 by 12 millimeters, 39 CK for £75. So these are the very dark body colour. The black pearls, almost. They're very, very dark body colours. Nice shapes. That's a nice colour. A wine-like colour. So 39 CK for £75.
Thank you.
Now this is a pale pink and almost gold, so a more of a pastel toned pearl, you see that, but very, very metallic, almost look like little metal nuggets. This one is only £7.50 a strand, 4 to 5 millimeters in your pastel shades of metallic, £7.50. How do we do on quantity of this one, please? Number 40. 10 of this one available. 40 CL, sorry, £7.50, and there's only 10 available. You can see they do look like little bits of metal, don't they? They're really, that's a really nice strand. One for Maria Scavell, one for Candy Barnes, 3 for Anne Spedding, one for Nicola Bell, one for Tony Davis, 3 for Elysian. Is that all of them? Did you count by any chance?
Sorry, I didn't.
No. I'll just let Donna tell me if that's it. I think that's probably it. Is that it, Donna? That's all of them, I'm afraid. Sorry if you missed out there. I've got 2 of these. Because it comes in a pack of 2. Oh, sorry, I wobbled you. Right, so these are a beaded set to make into a necklace and bracelet, but they already beaded them for you. I thought it was quite kind of them. So they've made little, I don't know.
Like cluster.
What's it called? A rope of little
Oh.
pearls. They're so nice,
I
isn't it?
know.
And then you're going to get the length for the necklace and then a bracelet length. Shall I measure them? That would be good to know, wouldn't it? So on the necklace length, you've got 42 centimeters of necklace, and on the bracelet length, there is 15.5. So that's a 6-inch bracelet. Isn't it lovely?
Yeah.
It's called a Kumahimo braid. Thank you very much, Laura. That's really good to know. Thank you.
That's a fun name.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love it very much. You get both in your pack, 41 cm, and that is £66 for the 2. So you're going to look at the quantity of pearls you're going to get in there. And someone has Kumahimo braided that for you already. 41 cm for £66. You just need to add a clasp onto the end of there, and there you've got your bracelet. Oh, I love it. 41 cm. Something different that just popped in there.
Yeah.
Look at the babies. Tiny, tiny, tiny pearls here. These are 3 millimeters. I'd say 2 to 3 millimeters. They're really dinky. And your pink and purples. This is £21.50 a strand. I'm going to show you the quality here. Just look at the colour in here. Really nice. Pink and purple metallics. 42 cn for £21.50 for that particular string. Nice string. Very cute. £21.50.
Thank you.
We've got a pale pink, again the pastel shade of the pink and purple. I've got a 42 for Candy Barnes. Thank you. This is a 5 to 6 millimeter string. Lovely skin. So look how smooth the skins are on there. And again, nice color, little bit different. This one is 5 to 6 millimeters, £27. 42 cn, please, for June Evans. Look at that. Really nice pastel colours. 43 CO, £27. Sticking with a similar colour, maybe slightly darker than that last one. This is your pink and purple 5 to 6 millimeter potato in the metallic luster. 44 CP for £21.50. Pink and purple, £21.50, 44 CP. 43 for June Evans. I must have a bit of a lag, so sorry. A 44 for Anne Spedding and a 44 for Candy Barnes. These are your flat nugget strands, so you can see that they are a top drilled flat nugget. So when I say a flat nugget, the back has been sitting against the mollusk, and you can see they have little flats on. So you just have to rotate them to get them in the right orientation, but they're really cute. This strand is £11, but you might get a cream one and you might get the peach one because they put both colours into the pack. But you're just going to get one strand, but you could get either colour. If you have a particular colour request, you can put it in the notes when you check out. And if we can do it, we will do it. 45 CQ, £11. So exactly the same in your cream, but it's just going to be a little bit of a lucky dip as to which colour you get, unless you request it when you check out. 45 CQ, £11. Nice. That is a nice strand, though. Look, with the unusual drill holes, a little bit different. A 45 for Maria Scavell.
Thank you.
Same again here. You could get either of these colors. There's the pink color or the cream color, so you can put the request in when you check out, or you can, if you buy two, you can have one of each. This one is 4.5 to 5 millimeters, £18 a string. 46CR. All the strings are approximately 36 centimeters in length, just to let you know. And this one is £18, 46CR. And you're going to get either cream or a pink, but you can put a request in when you check out as to which one you want. Wrong way. £18, 46. And then we've got 47, the same again, but in a smaller size. They've said 4.8 to 5.2 millimeters. So a little bit of variation there. And this one is 47CS, £14.50 a string. And again, with those nice colours, you'll get one of these colours, and you can request if you want the darker colour or the paler colour. But that is a very nice string for £14.50. Very nice, Lester. 47CS is your code, £14.50.
Thank you.
Now these are very sweet. 47CSs. I've got 2 for Nicola Bell, 1 for Maria Scavell, 2 for Candy Barnes, 1 for Lorraine Evans, 1 for, I don't know how many we've got, 47s.
9.
I'll just wait and see. 3 left. 1 for Lorraine Evans, sorry. 1 for Gillian Parker. 1 for Rani Melrose. There's 1 left of the 47s if anyone wants that last 47. This is number 48CT, and you get 2 of these for £6. Now, I mean, they're obviously, again, in Kumahimo maybe. Are they, Laura? Were they Kumahimo? Little balls of pearls. I guess you can attach a finding to them. Or you could do all sorts of things. And this is a smaller size. We've got them in a bigger size as well. They will be cream and pink colours. Again, you can pop a request in if you want particular colours. 48CT, you get 2 for £6. And we're going to bring you a larger one as well. So you could do earrings and a pendant. Look, there's the 2 different sizes. So 48CT. I've got 1 for Tony Davis. Have we got a quantity of these ones? Thank you. 1 for Beverly Jackson, Vicky Rawls, Tracy Merrick. Oh, these are cute, aren't they? 48CT. They're sometimes referred to as beady beads. Yes, I've heard of beady beads of beads. I didn't know you could do them in pearls as well.
That's cool.
And in the beads, they kind of sew them into these little balls. Yeah. Or a beaded bead.
I was like, how on earth do you make that?
Yeah, they kind of sew them on. They all stick together. Yeah, very clever. 48CT. And then we've got
nerd clusters.
Nerd clusters.
That's what they remind me of.
They do look like nerds. Definitely that shape. Shashunk would like a 48, please. Just pop it in the comments when you check out for me which colour you wanted, Shashunk, please. And a 48 for Karen, please. 2, I think. 2 for Karen Atkinson. And then, sorry, these are the larger sizes, 16 millimeters they are approximately, and they are £9 for 2 pieces. Sorry, Polly, what were you saying? That's so cute as well. 49CU and £9 for the 2 pieces. And Maria Scavell, please, for number 48. 49CU. I like them. They'd be great for me. I'm a terrible fidget. I think they'd look quite good in a ring. I wonder how you would attach them. Or you can make a little bracelet of them, could you?
Oh, yeah.
They feel like they would be a good fidget, but I don't know in what capacity. 1 for Karen Atkinson.
Earrings, because you always fidget with your earrings.
Well, I don't wear earrings.
Oh, I always fidget with mine.
Do you? Twist them around. 1 for Shashunk and 1 for Tony Davis. Something different, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then we have got, this is a rice pearl. I've called it potato, but it is a rice. And you've got the purples in there and the peaches. This one is £13.50 a strand, 3 to 4 millimeters, 50 CV for £13.50. You could do a stretchy ring. That's a good idea. I have this ring. I've got a rogue pearl there that we sold once for £3.50, I think.
Oh.
This is my don't bite your nails ring. So as you can see, the nails are not looking good. So then the ring appears because it twists and distracts me. So 50 CV, £13.50, 3 to 4 millimeters, one for Nicola Bell. Is that all the pearls done?
Yeah.
And we've got a little selection. That's all the pearls done. So if you need to revisit any of those, let me know. But we've got some other bits and bobs, so don't go anywhere. Because the supplier also sent us some Larimar beads, which was a really good idea because they are best friends with the Larimar King. If you watched our China live, so they've sent us some Larimar beads. And very nice quality Larimar as well. And in this pack, you get 2 pieces. They're 6 to 6.5 millimeter round. And for just £6 of Larimars, 2 pieces. So you can pair those up with any pearls. Let's grab some pearls. Let's grab those pearls. The first one that we did earlier. And it does go really well. I think Larimar and pearls do go really well together, don't they?
Yeah. I think the colours match well.
Really nice. Yeah, they do go really well. 53DA, and is that a skull behind you, Laura says? Yes, this one is a little red jasper skull. Thanks, Gillian. 53DA for £6 for your Larimar. Now, I do have some base metal findings. Now, let me pop that back down there. These are base metal findings. I didn't ask for the base metal findings, but I was given them anyway. So I thought I ummed and ahed because I can't test them because the test that they do is totally destructive. So I'm trusting that they are compliant with the regulations, which I possibly shouldn't do, but I know they supply into to businesses across Europe. So I hope they are all compliant with the regulations. They're really cute. I've got 53.2 for Catherine Woolard. Candy says, how many 33s did she get? Now, in this packet of base metal, so these base metal and enamel findings, and you get 10 different pieces. You get a little elephant. They're so cute. So I couldn't not put them in. No, I'm sorry, Amanda. There's no other gems. There was the Larimar that stuck in there, but that was just an accident. No other gems in this live. But you can come on tomorrow morning at 9:30, but I don't have any ice obsidian anyway. I don't know what ice obsidian is, actually. I think it's this sort of smoky quartz coloured obsidian, isn't it? Like this. So you get 10 pieces in your pack in all these different varieties, and they are base metal in all these different shapes, but they are very sweet. 10 pieces. 29.50. 54 is the code. 54
Yes.
DP. I don't know how many we have of each.
Yeah, 10.
54?
10.
That's 44.
Yeah, 10
10.
again.
Right, thanks.
I thought I checked it earlier, so I'll look for 10.
There you are. Look at that. They are cute. You get 10 pieces in there. £29.50 for all 10 of your base metal findings. And all the quirky. You have to buy the whole pack, Granny. They come in a pack. There's nothing I can do about it because they're not mine. So that's it. Let's put those all back.
Okay.
Other base metal findings we've got going on here. The next one is base metal clasp. You get 2 lots of these in your pack. Is that one set? Ah, yes. You get one rectangular with a clasp. Let me just try and open that with my nails. Not a good idea. Oh, I can't open that. Polly, can you open that?
I can have a look.
There you are. Thank you. And this one, same again.
Did it?
Oh, and that one, please. I'm no good at clasps. Thank you. Right, there you are. So that is how it click clasp. And it's got a little ring to add on to your pearl strings there. And that's your clasp. And then it clicks back in. It's got a good click. It's very strong. You get both styles, one of each style, 55 DC for £6. So you get one of that style, and Polly's just opening the other style. The other style is an oval ring, and then it's got inside the bar to tie your strings in. You see there, Polly, that comes up, that little hook.
Which one?
That comes up.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
55DC is your code, and they are 2 pieces, one of each style, for £6. I've got one for Tony Davis. Then we've got these ones are sterling silver trace chain extenders. So these are sterling silver. So here is, I've got 55, 2 for Ranny Melrose, please. So here is your trace chain extender. So you've got a little heart toggle. Just hold on to that a second, because I think it slides. And then it slides, look. Down there with your clasp. 55 DC for Elysian, sorry, and one for Bridget Dwell. That is your extender. So it's got a little jump ring. Sorry, that's a bolt ring at the end. And then this is the slider with a little heart toggle on the bottom. 56 DD for £11 in sterling silver.
Genuinely, yeah.
No, probably can't get that one unclicked. Never mind, they do unclick, so I unclick them. That one. Then we have got, I'm not going to get these out. These are end caps, 10 pieces of end cap for £3. Gold coloured base metal. I'm sure guys know what these are for £3. I'm sure you don't. You can see quite clearly. I don't know what they're for. 57 DE, 10 pieces for £3.
That's what I thought.
Oh, I've got the same. Oh, I see.
Silver.
And then I've got the same in silver colour. Silver colour base metal, 57 SS, 10 pieces for £3. I've then got 58 DF is 50 pieces of spacer beads, base metal spacer beads that are around about 2mm spacer beads. I've got a 57 for Ranny, please, and that is in the gold coloured 50 pieces for £3.
Oh, I figured it out.
You've done it now.
Yeah, I purely couldn't like.
I've got 57s for Louisa Gall, 2 for Bridget Dwell, thank you. 57, oh, sorry, there's different codes, isn't there? 57 SS for Louisa Gall. A 57 SS for Ranny Melrose. A 57 DE, 2 for Bridget, please.
I refuse to be defeated. That thing.
Oh, yes. And then a 58 for Tony Davis. And then some steel wire. Very thin, 0.3mm, one roll of steel wire. It's like a whole pack of stuff they got me. Her one roll is £3. 59 DG for £3. This is no, they're all base metal. Those, apart from the extender chain, Agnes, was sterling silver, but everything else is base metal. 59 DG, £3, 0.3mm, steel wire. One roll. Did we get Sandra for 253 DAs, please? We did, Sandra. Yes, thank you. Tony Davis for 59. That's it. Maybe they sent me all these things to help me learn what to do with them. And they're like, here you are, play with these. Is that everything?
Yes.
That is everything. Does anybody want us to recap anything? If there's any particular code that you want to have a look at it, then let me know. Could you get the extender chain, please? With the slidey ball.
Yes.
How much was that one?
56.
56 DD was £11 for your extender.
Yeah. That.
With a little extender chain. Anyone want to recap anything, or we can leave you to it if you like? How long is the roll, Beverly says? How does it say on it?
Let's find out. It does not.
Doesn't say, Beverly, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Pretty long.
Pretty long is Polly's description. It's pretty long. So I've no idea. We'll try
Long
and do
enough.
better when we sell things next time. I can't get this one to slide, but the other one did slide. So let me just try. Yes, it does slide. I've just got to be a bit braver, that's all. It is kind of cute, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, £11 each, it says. 56 DD. Right, okay, we're going to thank you all so much for joining us this evening. I hope you liked your little pearl lesson that we had going there. I will be live again tomorrow morning at 9:30. A great big thank you to Donna in my ear for spending her evening with us, and to the lovely Polly as well for coming back from being on holiday for 3 whole weeks. And although it wasn't you, it was me. I was sick for one. Thank you everybody for watching. As always, if you've got any requests after the show, you can of course direct message us. And if you're a new customer, please make sure you email us with your email address, or direct message us with your email address. The email address is here, info@CharmersGems. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate joining us. I hopefully see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. But if not, have a nice weekend. Cheerio. Bye.